Hello, 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 everybody. Gather around here because we are going to start with yet another Star Heroes tournament. This time it's qualification tournament number 3, the last one, the last possible chance to actually qualify to the finals of qualification. And we will talk a little bit about this later in the stages of the tournament. Right now, let's start with the white camera to showcase my beautiful co-caster. Hello.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone. It's last one, qualification open, qualification tournament, actually. And Saturday, we will see again in the with the already qualified teams, and we have two more slots which we will distribute today.
Yeah, the finals of qualifications are going to be for 6 teams, round robin, so which means everyone against everyone. And let's see which of these 6 teams are we going to send to the finals on stage. The finals on Crypto Community Conference, big event on the 17th of February. We will actually talk a little bit about it later. Maybe for now, let's focus on the third final qualification tournament. We are looking for yet another pair of 2 best teams out there. We have already qualified 4 of them, really strong teams, bringing the legacy from the beta or alpha gameplay of the game, the experience towards the release, towards the grand premiere. And I think it's really amazing story to talk about. Star Alliance, When Pilots, Sons of Anomaly, and Monkey Team. So maybe let's start with this one. Maybe let's showcase a little bit those teams. We do have
a little problem, but
nah, it's fixed already. We do have When Pilots on the table in the roster of Kamix, Mateusz K, and Mixtier, the team that got the 2nd place in the last tournament.
And they did very well. Why it was why they were qualified by the last tournament? Because they didn't showed up on the first one. Actually, they are one of the best teams we have seen.
Yep.
And definitely they are one of the best teams ever created in Star Heroes.
I mean, for sure, only by looking at those names. Everybody who's been with the Star Heroes project for some time already know who are these guys and why are they so good. They've been playing for some time right now, as we can see at the experience tab. They are playing since the first tournament a year ago, so a whole year experience. It's actually, I mean, enormous number of games played together, to be honest with you. Talking about the point that the leaderboard is actually open every day at evening hours, and I've heard that those guys were playing pretty much every day whenever they got a chance.
Definitely. Also, they have their 2nd division, which is called When Pilots B, but they are not qualified yet. Probably they will do it now.
I mean, they've been playing. They took part in the 1st and the 2nd qualification tournament, ending on places like 3rd and 5th or 4th, if I recall correctly. So close enough, but not enough to actually get to the finals of qualifications. But hey, maybe this time the 2nd division will have their shot. And the winner of the previous qualifications, probably the best team out there, Star Alliance. Maybe let's showcase them right now. In roster of Peggy, Panpilot, Gravity Revolt, and Spartan. 4-man roster, even though we are playing 3 against 3, but they are rotating players here and there in case of, whoever is able to play right now, and most of those players, if not 4 of them, are actually top 4 spots in the individual leaderboard of Star Heroes.
Yeah. They are really great, and it's really important to have at least one substitute player, not who is playing as much as the rest of the team, and is really on the same level.
Yep, and they are pretty much on the same level. I mean, we saw them on the 2nd qualification tournament, and I wouldn't necessarily say they went flawless through it. They had some ups and downs, but in the end, they didn't drop a single map, which is pretty important. And the experience, even bigger than the previous team. They started like a month earlier, and it's the first pro team, as we can name, in the Star Heroes, because they've been winning countless numbers of tournaments. I tried to count it down, and it was like a 5 or 6 from 10 tournaments aimed to our European or Polish community. So that's a really nice win ratio in terms of competitive gameplay.
Which means they have earned a lot of money yet.
They did in terms of single tournaments prize pool. Although those players are also taking part in the leaderboard, they are positioning themselves for airdrop, and airdrop will probably be based on the number of games you play, on the spot you actually get into the leaderboard, etc., etc. If you want to find more about the airdrop, we will be showing the lower third of the URL, so you could quickly jump into it and find out more about it. If you don't know much about this project yet, I highly recommend you quickly jumping into our Discord, following us on the X platform Star Heroes game, and you will find every possible piece of information here.
But as we can hear, we will be in the game soon.
Yep.
A few seconds.
We are going to really quickly start with the first game of the third tournament, starting with a match GGL against Xborg, and the full names of those teams are as following: Galactic, Gladiators, and Xborg Atlantic.
One of the best teams in the last tournament, actually. They have been in the semi-finals. I believe they were really close to qualification state, but they are fighting once again, trying to qualify for the last chance.
Yeah, they went to like 4th or 5th round of the losers bracket. They were really close. I do believe they lost to When Pilots team, which eventually happened to be the 2nd place and the team qualifying to the finals. Let's see what's going to happen in the early game. It's not so safe, it's not so slow early game. We do see already 3 eliminations from the side of the team Galactic Gladiators, and 1 in response for Xborg's Atlantic.
And Gladiators with the advantage of the
Stardust, yeah.
Course,
We've been pronouncing it credits. I mean, credits is the currency into the game which allows you to buy, for example, 2 different starships, the support and the tank starships, but in-game currency, which we see in the above the team names, it's actually the Stardust, so we have to keep pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, that would be great, definitely, Majutek, and we will try as hard as possible. Auror, with already 3 eliminations, which is the high score in the game, actually.
Yeah, right now he's leading the kill board all by himself, 3-0. Already bought the Proton Cannon with the first upgrade alongside his 2 teammates, so they are leading into this early game. And buying upgraded weapons such as the Proton Cannon, aka named the best weapon that's currently in the game, they find no problems in gathering additional Stardust due to destroying the containers, or actually destroying the enemy spaceships.
Also upgrading the shield, which means he's really harder to kill. That makes him really strong for now, and probably his snowball effect will start even more from the skills that he showed on the start.
As we can see, everybody is playing the shooter spaceship. Is the first one that you are actually starting the game with, the first unlocked, and everybody is finding this spaceship so good. Mostly due to the speed of this ship, but secondary due to the special ability, which are those missiles, as you can see right now, as you saw in the previous skirmish, and it's really OP in terms of the early game power force.
Yeah, it's auto-aiming skill, which can help you in bursting enemy in early game especially. It's around over 1k damage, which is really a lot for the start. It doesn't mean so much in the late game when the shield is fully stacked.
But it's still a nice help.
Yeah, it's really nice help, but not so nice, not so important as in the start of the game.
The average damage that I have noticed coming from the missiles is something in between 1500, so it's basically like full shield and half of your health points. In addition to usage of the minigun, it might be enough to get rid of your opponent, but when you are using proton cannon, it's more than enough to put someone to sleep.
Yeah, it depends on how many missiles you have landed,
Yep.
and it's really important. So, yeah, definitely. And with the first augment, Guardians are going really well, pushing the first augment and probably getting the bonus.
Yep, and it's plus 30% shield to regeneration speed, which in my opinion is probably the best scaling into the late game. It's really cool, and without any problems whatsoever. This team called Galactic Gladiators are currently leading in terms of the bonus, and in terms of Stardust collected, it is almost like 4K right now, 3.5.
It really looks like a stone, but we can't say it yet. It's really important. The most important phase of the game is the last 5 minutes and the overtime, definitely, because it's the only thing you depend on the score of the match.
Yeah, you can be stomping the game for the first 10 minutes. You could be really ahead of your enemies, but then if you misplay something into the later stages of the game, if you let your enemies come back and get the upper hand on you, boom, you're losing. And the first round of the double elimination bracket, it's nice to warm up, but you would much rather prefer warming up with a win, so you could advance to the second round, then already dropping to the lower bracket, because in the double elimination formula you are allowed to lose one match, but one match only.
Only one, of course. But we have better formula of the tournament, which is really great.
I mean, yeah, for the finals of qualification, it would be something different, the round robin, but we'll talk a little bit about it later, because right now we are about to see the second anomaly being pushed. Xborg Atlantics are having the upper hand. It's plus 500% max health, but they are not succeeding in doing so. As we can see, the anomaly is bouncing back to the middle right now.
Yeah, Gladiators are guarding their goal really well. The tunnel is really a big choke point. I think the last choke point on this map, actually, which is hard to push through.
Yep, but if you manage to push through it, I mean, at least the halfway from the on the enemy territory, then it should be pretty easy to fight for it. As we can see right now, it's not so easy when you are playing against enemies with fully upgraded proton cannons. Only 1 second, only one mistake usually is something in between you being alive and being shut down.
Especially when the Gladiators have already 2 lasers, which make them much better in pushing the anomaly.
Yep, only Eskezia on the opposing side went for the laser without fully upgrading the proton cannon. It's a nice advantage in terms of pushing, but hey, you cannot push the anomaly when you are dead, and Ghosters is trying to make Eskezia be dead for a couple of seconds. Nobody is wasting a lot of Stardust right now to buy back themselves, especially Galactic Gladiators. I am a little bit confusing about this name, but they are saving their Stardust mostly to buy fully upgraded shields. As we can see right now, Auror on the 4th level of the shield upgrade, he's really tanky.
Yeah. The mistakes that we make is probably provoked by other team.
Yep.
Which is called Guardians, actually. But we have Gladiators right now, so that's the team we are focusing on. But they are now probably losing the augment, but fighting still.
I mean, it really doesn't matter if they lose this one, as long as they scale really hard into later stages of the game. But of course, you don't want to let your enemies have so many upgrades, so many bonuses, because it will be just harder to get rid of them on the later stages of the game. Right now, we can see that mostly the fight is around the anomaly, per usual. Xborg Lexi, he's trying to fight off the defenders, but he was left alone on the playfield, and he didn't succeed in doing so. Right now, M2 RK is trying to push alone, but hey man, you have to watch for yourself, because it's going to be really tough one. Being hit from the 3 different angles, he was not supposed to live here.
The advantage of numbers just like that makes M2 RK die. And as we can see, it's not that easy to push the final stage of the anomaly with the augment. As we can see, the Gladiators pushed it back to the middle, and it's not really a lot of time to get the augment. I don't think it's really
what? I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you. As we can see, it just went through the middle of the map, 30 more seconds to make the push, and maybe, just maybe, Galactic Gladiators will be able to do so, but I'm not betting my money on it. This might be the game with only one team bonus.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But as we can see, Gladiators doesn't want to stop. They want to take also the second upgrade with the 500 hull, but Xborg Atlantic will not let them make that so easy. Focusing on the anomaly, both of the teams, and only 10 seconds left.
Yeah, a couple of seconds left. I don't believe that the anomaly is going to make it to the end goal. So we are probably going to despawn it and wait for the star seed to spawn. Star seed is the last anomaly that will ever happen in the game mode called Star Push, and whoever is going to push it successfully is going to win the map. So let's call it a late game, and it has just started.
Oh, obviously, yeah. And as we can see, it's over 7,000 advantage with the Stardust for the Galactic Gladiators, which makes them in better position to win the game.
Yeah, way better position. Almost everyone with fully upgraded shields. Only Ghosters is still on the 4th level, but it will come in shortly, which means they are more than prepared for this stage of the game. Right now, as we can see, they are just trying to push the anomaly on 100% pushing power to go towards the enemy. It's going to be really slow on the beginning, so mostly they should focus on killing the enemies and not letting them earn any more credits than necessary.
Definitely. Pushing the anomaly on the main time is not really effective. It's so slow that it's more important to make your advantage even bigger, earning some Stardust, killing the enemies, upgrading your stuff, and wait for the overtime. It's really hard to see ending the game in the main time.
I mean, yeah, I don't believe that we are we seeing it really often. Maybe like one game ended before the overtime.
Something like that.
But 98% of them are going towards the overtime, mostly because it's so hard to maintain a full push. As we can see right now, the Xborg team managed to bounce it back a little bit, and M2 RK is still working on pushing it, on keeping the anomaly safe, but the main concern should be about earning last upgrade for the shield, because as we can see on our screens, pretty much every member of Galactic Gladiators team is fully equipped.
Which is also important to save some Stardust for the overtime, to revive and get back to the fight over the anomaly. When the multiplier is really high, it's much more important than upgrading the shield, maybe this one stack or one upgrade for your weapon. It's really important to have some Stardust saved for the revive.
And yeah, and if you do have a lot of money saved, then you can buy back after buyback. That's the main thing. But the second most important thing, you may be even able to go with a third weapon. We don't see it often. I do believe we saw it once or twice, but it's still a nice tactic to just go with, for example, a weapon like a Gauss cannon, and then when the game comes to the last seconds of it, you can basically spawn camp your enemy team, not letting them go out, you know, starting with a nice clean shot of the Gauss cannon, dealing like 2k damage, and then finishing it up with proton cannon and missiles.
we have seen it a few times, and the game was a really big stomp. So I don't really think it's possible to see this situation, the third weapon in this game.
And this game is pretty much one-sided, as we can see in terms of the Stardust collected by both teams. The Gladiators are leading with an amount of like 10k of Stardust. That's an enormous advantage, looking only at the equipments when they are definitely leading. Everybody is like full equipped, only Rwanda is still lacking on getting the next 2 upgrades for his lasers, but hey, he still got some time.
Obviously, yeah, but only 1 minute left before the overtime, before the multipliers comes on and start growing, which makes the star seed moving quicker and quicker, faster and faster.
I mean, Aurora is having a really great first game. 28 elimination and only 5 deaths. That's basically an amazing score, really hard to beat in terms of KDA and in terms of him being actually in the center of an action. The kill participation is also really high.
Especially when we look at Eskezia. I know he got some other type of stuff to do. He's more focused on pushing the anomaly, on making it push to the other side, but when you have only 2 kills and your proton cannon is only upgraded once, it's not so easy. It's not really possible to fight like equal enemy.
Yeah, not much battle power in terms of this weapon being so poorly upgraded. Eskezia will probably just try to stick around the anomaly and try to use laser as much as possible, but with 18 deaths and not fully upgraded shield still, it's going to be really tough. He's pretty much out-equipped by the enemies.
And the advantage in the Stardust is only growing, as we can see, the Gladiators going for the first win.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be much problems about it. They have a lot of Stardust collected and being saved for those possible buybacks. So I'm not expecting the Exborg Atlantics to really make a comeback here.
And the Ghozders with the third weapon, as you said, there is a possibility, and the Ghozders is trying to make it worth.
I mean, it's not necessarily. It's probably enough to stick with 2 weapons and to switch between them constantly, but the third weapon, for example, like the Gauss Cannon, is a weapon with a different profile. It's much like a sniper rifle being used in the long-range combats.
Yeah, and it's almost a one-shot kill for the lower shielded enemies in the late game, but more likely to 3 shots for the real late game with the full stack of armor.
I mean, you can start with just poking down the enemy with a Gauss Cannon, 1 or 2 shots will do, then just quickly switch to the Proton Cannon, the best weapon that is being produced by the Star Heroes dev team.
Definitely. And as we can see, Ghozders is making use of his third weapon. He's switching, he's juggling between those 3 weapons.
And he's mostly right now focusing on pushing the sphere, so it makes sense to switch between in between here and there, you know, saving those proton cannon shots for the possible enemy to come close to start the fight. And as we can see, there is a lot of fight going on because the anomaly is so close to the goal line of Exborg Atlantic team.
And 2 kills for the Gladiators right now, but instantly reviving themselves. Red team going back to guarding their goal, and the anomaly is now stuck right before the enemy's goal. Red team in big trouble, but Gladiators doesn't want to stop. They still want to push it with the really high multiplier.
I mean, as soon as they spawn, they are trying as hard as possible to bounce back the sphere, but you cannot do it when you are dead. And as we can see, none of the defenders were left standing on the battlefield, and they wasn't able to defend their base. Pretty one-sided match, as we can see in terms of the eliminations, 79 to 32. And when we look at the damage, Aurora and Rwanda dealing like 150,000 damage. That's way more than the enemy team.
Definitely, or with the great example how to play the Star Heroes game and how to stomp the enemies. Amazing play by him, and probably mm, that will make him qualify to the last tournament.
I mean, hopefully there's still a lot of matches to be played, so let's not judge just yet. But it was a great example of playing the game from the beginning. Getting the advantage: 1K, 2K, faster upgrades, first bonus, more eliminations, and then just using the snowball effect on the enemies. That wasn't able to buy the full upgrades even of a shield, and that's really crucial in terms of the late game fights.
Definitely. Better equipment, more shield, more damage through the weapons. Even the third one, they were so ahead that they could buy another weapon just like that. And it was a really controlled stomp.
Yep, it was controlled, 100%. I can agree on that. As we see more and more even matches coming to the later stages of the tournament, we will see every player being fully upgraded within the 15-minute mark, and they will be prepared for the last fight. This time, Xborg Atlantic players just weren't fully equipped, and it made them really, really hard to even try to defend for a little longer.
And they lost one of their chances for the lose. They cannot do it again if they still want to try qualify for the close tournament.
I mean, right now being in the lower bracket, it's really way harder because you cannot lose right now, and maybe we'll go through the second, third, or fourth round. But then on the fifth round, on the final for the lower bracket, you will face the teams that actually lost in the semis, that were actually really close of beating the best team, and further you progress, you are going to face stronger and stronger enemies.
Definitely. But the most important thing is to get to the final. Yeah, of course. Winning the final is also well priced, a little bit more priced than the second place. But the most important thing is to get to the final.
I mean, a little bit more. Yeah, for the second prize, you are getting 0. You're getting the spot in the finals of qualifications, and that's probably the most important prize there is. But for the first place, we do have some nice cash prize. And yeah, it's always the better feeling to win in the finals, to qualify as the winner, as the first place team, not only the finalist.
And as we can see, we have already when Pilots B with the win in the first round. Yeah. Definitely.
And also, the first match on the first round, it's Galactic Guardians, not Gladiators. So Galactic Guardians are still playing against one of the teams filled with players from Turkey. Actually, we do have a large group from Turkish community playing Star Heroes. I do remember them back in the time when they were playing like a year ago some tournaments, and most of those tournaments, like half of them, were being hosted mainly for the Turkish community. So that's really cool. It means we had like over 20 teams filled with only Turkish players. That's a really, really large group of pilots.
Yeah, it's a really big community, which is international. We have people from Poland, from Germany.
Yep. We had a team from, we had some Hungarians, we
Belgium.
Probably, had even some Belgium teams back in the time. So, yeah, the community is really, really growing. I don't know the correct numbers right now, but as we can see on the X platform of Star Heroes, we experience a really, really huge growth in terms of players, in terms of people coming into this community.
Yeah, and it will be only growing, definitely, for sure, especially when we release the game, actually.
Yeah, and it's going to be released within 2 weeks right now. So that's a really, really great info to be displayed. I don't know what was that, but hey, we are back on the camera. That's really, really good. I mean, in the next week, on the following week, on Saturday, we are going to host finals of qualifications, as we said. And then on the next week, so 2 weeks from now, we will be having the grand opening ceremony and the release of the game and everything. But for now, let's just focus on Team Hydra, represented by Sigma, Oxymoron, and Ruli.
The true lovers of the meta, the true lovers of Star Heroes, which loves all of the maps.
And basically, everyone with experience coming from either Quake or CS, Doom, Overwatch, many first-person shooters.
Yeah, the OG shooters, which everyone started with.
CS 1.6. To be honest, probably my favorite game of all time. Mostly because I started playing it when I was like, maybe not this little, but this little.
This little?
Yeah.
So, as high as now sitting.
Yeah, something like that. Let's quickly jump into the another match. THDR. Okay.
Against
Alpha.
Alpha Team, definitely.
Team Hydra against Alpha Team. Let the battle start once again on the Looney Station.
And starting with the fight at the very beginning. First 30 seconds and we can see almost killed opponents.
Almost, but it's still 0-0 in terms of eliminations. Everybody is just trying to look for containers filled with Stardust to be able to buy their first big weapon, which is going to be Proton, obviously. That's the meta. I mean, we are going with the strongest weapon, because why not?
Yeah, definitely. The Team Hydra, all of the players love the Proton Cannon. It's their favorite weapon. As we could see.
It would be my favorite weapon if I was in this tournament also, because hey, why not go with the weapon with the highest possible damage output, really low cooldown for yet another usage. It's called cooling down the weapon, so I will just name it cooldown.
Cooldown, yeah. It's not a reload time. Cooldown, as we can see, but sometimes there are some players that are mostly one of the best, which likes the kinda of meta weapons, kinda of meta picks, and it's really funny to for them, which is more important than winning always.
I mean, and I do see a lot of sense in that, because if they were playing this game for like a year now, the Proton Cannon in the current state is being OP for like couple of weeks, I do believe so. And in the previous versions of the game, we had a time where the laser was OP, Gauss cannon was OP for a long time. Everybody was playing with a spread cannon, because with spread cannon you could just spam some shots of the shotgun and annihilate your enemy on the close range. So yeah, there were different variations back at the time.
We have seen the first eliminations. We can see the first upgrades of the Proton Cannon right now, going right through, and it's really great since in a few seconds, in the 30 seconds, we will see the first anomaly augment.
Yeah, the only different approach to the beginning of the game is being presented by Brozen. He went with the laser, not selling the minigun just yet.
Oh.
Putting laser to do some work, trying to get rid of some enemies. I mean, the damage output, it's not so great, and the range also, but I hope that Brozen is just being prepared for the first anomaly spawn. As we can see, the red team is gathering in the middle to start the pushing.
But the blue team still fighting for it, still fighting for prior of the first augment, and we can see the first kills for the both of the teams.
Yep, but Alpha are not giving up on it. They started pushing right now. They let go of the sphere, they let go of the anomaly to try to fight off some enemies, but Vezer is dead, and Sigma, as we can see right now, he's the main protector, but he's also down.
But Alpha team coming back to the middle, and not really a long distance to beat, to go through, because the Team Hydra couldn't push it so far.
Yeah, and it's really close game in terms of elimination. As we can see, it's almost a tie for those teams. So we are going to see a really interesting rivalry happening in the second round of the upper bracket.
Yeah, I have seen the quick maps in your eyes. quick calculations, and as we can see, you are good
Yep.
at this.
Slight advantage for the Hydra team, but only a slight advantage of like 1 elimination. Not so many credits, couple hundreds here and there. So we are not talking about the snowball effect just yet. We are mostly talking about the advantage coming from the better timing, the better momentum that they are trying to use, but they are not trying to put as much effort as they could, in my opinion, on the anomaly, because the Alpha team got a nice upper hand.
Yeah, pushing it really far to the opponent's side. Maybe it's because of the laser start tactic presented by Brozin.
Yep, probably. I do believe that that's the main work he's been doing. Looking at his statistic, he's not mostly focusing on fighting off the enemies, but we are seeing right now the perspective of Rule. He's making a really good use of the proton cannon with 2 upgrades already to just bounce the big ball back to the middle, fighting some enemies, winning some 1v1 fights.
Well, and what is the fight about? About the first augment, obviously, the bonus is plus 500 max health.
And that's the best augment for the early game, we can agree on that.
Definitely. But it's been already 3 minutes since the spawn, and it's back on the middle.
Yeah, so the early game in this game is really short, because as we see right now, most of the players have already like 2 or 3 upgrades for their main weapon, and everybody is trying to spend some Stardust on upgrading the shield.
Definitely. We can't really talk about the early game when we have so many eliminations, which generates a lot of Stardust.
Yeah, it's not credits, alright, we can also agree on that, it's the Stardust. I mean, let's name the early game, the moment between the game starts and actually between pushing like the first anomaly, but only in terms of the first anomaly going off within like 2 or 3 minutes. Then we are going to the middle game when everybody is playing with fully upgraded main weapon, as we can see 5 fully upgraded proton cannons right now.
Yeah, only Brozin is still upgrading the laser with 2 upgrades already and not upgraded proton at all.
Let me quickly look at my loads. The last upgrade for laser is almost 1k Stardust, so he should be able to buy it really soon. But right now, everybody is adding some points to their shield. In my opinion, it's the best spend possible of the Stardust is just to upgrade your shield ASAP.
As we have seen with the best teams, with the most experienced teams, they are buying and fully upgrading the proton, then focusing on the shield, and after that, the laser.
Yep, the laser comes last. For most of the players, for most of the teams, Brozin, he's trying to be the meta breaker, upgrading laser as his first weapon of choice, which is not doing so much in the fights 1 against 1 in the space. You have to maintain a really nice high tempo and movement to be able to dodge those proton cannons.
Definitely, in the fights it's not so good, but as we can see, another time Alpha team with upper hand from pushing the anomaly.
Yeah, and this time they were really close before the bounce. The Hydra team is trying to cover the sphere right now, trying to get rid of countless defenders that are just going out of the spawn, because as we can see right now, Crypto's fan, for example, is spending some credits on buying back his life to maintain pressure, to maintain the advantage they've been really hard working on.
Because there is no so much time left till the star seed spawning, till the anomaly augment despawning, and maybe we will see the game with no bonuses from this objective.
I mean, such a close game. Just look at the Stardust difference. It's somewhere in between 1k, which is basically like one upgrade of the shield for only one player. Not much of a difference in terms of the equipment, not much of a difference in terms of eliminations. Slight upper hand for the Team Hydra, but they need to defend their goal line. Alright, they were able to bounce it back a little bit, trying to put 100% force on the anomaly to push it back with only 1 minute left.
But Brozen is back, so maybe he will make it better for his team. But no, Team Hydra pushing it back to the middle, and only 50 seconds left for taking the first augment.
Crypto's fun. He's trying to play it slow. He's trying to make a defensive position and just shoot from the really long distance towards the anomaly, but he's just been shot down. 30 seconds left for the first and possible last anomaly to be pushed down towards the goal line. I don't believe any of those teams are going to make it.
No, definitely. There is no possibility to get any bonus from the first anomaly for the first augment. And as we can see, we will have the late game, the star seed spawning in a few seconds with no augments taken by any team.
That's a pretty rare event.
Yeah.
Rare, not rare.
Kinda weird, definitely.
I mean, not weird, because we are seeing pretty even game. Basically, the only upper hand that the Team Hydra team has is just better shields for their players, but not so much.
Not so many upgrades more, but buying the laser for the star seed, and it's obvious choice by both of the teams, as we can see. Sigma and Rule already with the lasers.
Yep, everybody is going to buy a laser at some point of the game, I do believe right now, but let's focus on those players with the highest amount of eliminations. Rule, and on the other side, Crypto's Fun. These are those guys that are leading in terms of fighting power.
Probably the most important players in those teams, in both teams, for each team. And when they are dead, as we can see, both of the teams are kinda backed, letting the enemies pushing the anomaly and waiting for the main carry.
Yeah, and losing the momentum. Let's see how Rula can handle this situation right now, because as we can see, everybody is gathering around the middle. Rula has just been shot down with the use of many missiles pointed at him. That's not so easy when you are fighting against 2 or 3 shooter spaceship. With auto-aimed missiles, you are going to have a really tough time.
Oxymoron waiting for the shield and now going for the elimination with help of his friend Rule.
Yeah.
And going back to the anomaly, going back to the star seed to take control of it, to push it back to the middle when the enemy team was in the upper hand.
I mean, 100% this game will end in the overtime, no doubt about it. The only thing that we do know yet how high the multiplicator can go. We saw it over 100.
Yeah, and it was really fast star seed. Even the players could not revive them as fast as the anomaly was moving.
Yep. That's 100% correct. Oh, Vezor is dead. So let's take a look at Crypto's Fun. He's trying to take a fight against Oxymoron, being on his tail, making use of this proton cannon, going as close as possible, landing some missiles on yet another starship, but it's not so easy fight for him. He's already off the shield. He needs some time to regenerate.
Crypto's Fun with the problems,
so low.
hiding himself from the enemies, trying to regenerate his shield. Obviously, it's the main tactic, as we can see, trying to poke the enemy and get him back, but now he had no chance.
Yeah, you can regenerate the shield, but you cannot regenerate the health of your starship, and he was really low, like 300 something. In this statistic. So even though with a fully regenerated shield, it's still the downside of being alive for so long.
And Team Hydra Hydra with a really small advantage in the Stardust, around 3k Stardust ahead enemy team.
I mean, that's not so much of a difference. Looking at those equipments, everybody, almost everybody with fully upgraded shields. Only Rule still on the 4th level, but he does have the credits needed to buy this upgrade. But he decided to go with the second upgrade of the laser.
And that's interesting, definitely. He decided to upgrade his laser, and now he's dead. We will see him soon back.
I mean, you do need most certainly a fully upgraded shield for the late game. We are only 1 minute off the overtime, so interesting decision making to say the least, but hopefully Rule will find some money here and there, enough Stardust to buy the 5th upgrade.
Maybe, but it's not so easy. I think it's the moment when you should focus on saving some Stardust just for the revives in the overtime.
Yeah, but the tempo is so high. I mean, eliminations going off on the left, on the right, which means you get a really nice income of the in-game currency called Stardust, so he shouldn't worry that much about it. But hey, we are going into the really last stage of the game, 15 seconds from the overtime.
15 seconds from the overtime, and the multiplayer will grow as fast as possible, obviously, but still the anomaly, the star city is on the middle, maybe a little bit upper hand for the alpha team.
So the most important moment of this game started right now. The multiplicator is going to be only growing and growing, and you need to put as much effort into pushing the star seed as into defending it from the enemy team.
But the multiplier is still really low. Still gaining the credits is the most important thing. Obviously, gaining the credits by the eliminations.
Yeah, nobody is paying much attention to those containers of Stardust right now. Everybody is just trying to have an eye on the enemy spaceship, or as we can see right now, Rule just did a little drive-by, you know, coming from the side, utilizing those missiles in front of the enemy starship, trying to dodge here and there, regain fuel shield before going on to another combat.
Another combat going on the flank, going behind the Cryptofan player, trying to strike him, but it's not that easy.
Yeah, but Cryptofan is solo. Yeah, he didn't manage to hide in time. Rule got him right now, pushing the anomaly, pushing the sphere at 100% force.
And it's really important to gain some advantage, to push it to the enemy side, maybe just to push it on the middle when you are behind the enemy's line.
Oh my god, so many eliminations into this game. I cannot even count that high so quickly, because eliminations are still happening within seconds. As we can see right now, Cryptofan, he just bought his life back to the action, and he already lost almost all of his shield and his life.
His health also, as we can see, he does not have enough credits to buy himself back. He had to wait a few seconds, which can cost him a whole game.
Yeah, a couple of seconds here and there, and not so many players of the Alpha team have enough saved credits to be able to buy back immediately. That's a really big advantage for Team Hydra.
Yeah, they saved a lot of credits for the overtime, for the multiplier, for the Stardust, obviously, yeah.
Sorry for this confusion, but...
Yeah, my bad, I'm sorry. They saved a lot of Stardust for the overtime, which makes them much better team, place them in
a better position.
Definitely, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I can read into your mind and finish the sentence that you started. That's a really nice skill, but the better skills is to just aim properly and make full use of your weapons. As we can see right now, Rule is trying to do, oh my god, 15 health. Do I see it correctly? He's solo, he's like one hit away of being dead, but his shield started regenerating, but not for so long. strong. He's really low, trying to be on a tail, trying to shoot from behind, not trying to be involved in many fights.
And now he's dead, but for the price of the enemy's life and a lot of stardust, making him able to instantly buy back and get back to the fight, to the pushing, the anomaly.
Yeah, and he's back already. He's trying to maintain a full force of push. The multipliers going really high, over 70 right now, but it's going to be the last second of this match. Congratulations to Team Hydra.
With such a big multiplier, with such a fast anomaly, all of the players were focused on pushing the anomaly with firing laser into, but the advantage of Team Hydra made them win the game.
And only looking at the statistics, we can see, yeah, really even game in terms of Stardust, really even game in terms of eliminations. But when we look at the damage, Brozen wasn't able to pull as much effort as the other two players. Cryptofan and Vezir did probably the most they could. They played the best they possibly could be able to pull out, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, Cryptofan with the highest damage in the game, as we can see, but Brozen with not the best performance in this game. Maybe it's just a maybe because of the first buy laser and fully upgrading it made him deal so less, not enough damage.
160,000 damage dealt by all three players of the blue team, Sigma, Rula and Oxymoron. That's the team play. I mean, that's basically the meaning of splitting the work between all of the three players. Everybody with the same equipment, everybody with the same numbers in terms of damage. Really great work.
Yeah. Really, one person with 3 heads, obviously, like a Hydra.
Like a Hydra, yeah, definitely.
Makes sense now.
Now it makes a lot of sense. That was the match from the second round of the upper bracket. Maybe let's see how the bracket is going, because in tournaments like this, it's going really fast. Galactic Gladiators won their match. We are waiting for the match of teams Polska Guram against Beta Team. Team Hydra obviously won, so they are going to be advanced in the bracket within a couple of seconds. And when Pilots B playing against Sephir Team.
That's great. But in the lower bracket, we still have some teams, especially DNA, Alpha Team, and Xborg Atlantic. Now, the Beta Team. So both Alpha and Beta teams are in the lower bracket.
And maybe eventually they are going to clash against one another. We will see in the later stages of the tournament.
Oh, really late.
Right now, the highlighted match, probably, it's Polska Guram against Galactic Gladiators. Maybe that will be the third match that we are going to see today.
And the Galactic Gladiators with the great performance today and the great performance in the last tournament, as we could see. They are really on fire, and they are really putting a lot of effort into those matches. It's the last chance to qualify for the tournament, so you have to make your best shot.
And in my opinion, possible one of the best teams in current qualification tournament, the third qualification tournament. They were really close to qualifying in the last tournament. Right now, without Star Alliance, without When Pilots team, it might be slightly easier job to do.
When Pilots B team is there, and they are really good also. We haven't seen them yet today, but probably we will.
I mean, we've seen them in the last two tournaments, so we do have enough intel to be sure that they are capable of winning this tournament. But, you know, let's see how the fight goes. We cannot judge right now. Maybe today is the best day to qualify, or maybe they are just not feeling so good. I mean, it's still Sunday. It's still the rest day for many of those human beings, because we are only humans after all. So we don't know what's going outside of the game. We don't know how good are they feeling in the last two tournaments. They were like this close, maybe this close from qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. Performance of the day, the other enemy teams in the game, in the tournament, it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, I mean,
For sure.
yeah, for sure. It all, in the end, it all depends on your form of the day when these games are so close to each other. Let's take a look at Galactic Gladiators team of Auror, Ghozders, and Norbiash, but this time Revande is playing.
Yeah, the substitute player, and as we can see, Auror with a kinda weird choice for his favorite weapon, CKM, which is...
He's the real OG. He's the real OG, yep. What is CKM?
Ciężki karabin maszynowy.
I mean, if you translate it to Polish, then yeah. When you translate it to English, it's a heavy machine gun.
Yeah, for sure. And it's great.
I mean, almost everybody likes Nox Colony, but we do have some players that are going with a different pick. This time, Norbiash choosing Lunis Station.
COD series for the Ghozders and Norbiash.
And CS for Auror and also Ghozders. So once again, a lot of first-person shooter experience.
So Ghozders is playing with both of them, and they are fighting with each other for his attention.
Maybe that might be the case. And maybe they're only playing Star Heroes right now with not so much of free time. By the way, why Star Heroes? Because these guys see a lot of potential in this game. In terms of this game being probably the first esports web-free gaming title, as far as I know. So that's the one thing. The second thing is that if you come into this game early and gain some game knowledge and experience, it would be easier for you to play when the game is finally released. And you can also try your luck in many tournaments or airdrops or leaderboards on many activities that they are going to happen, hopefully, in the future.
Definitely, because the community is growing. The possibilities are
endless, as in space.
Definitely, yeah. Why not? With the Stardust, you can make everything.
Yeah, with enough Stardust, you are basically like almost immortal.
Might be.
I don't know. At least you can buy a lot of cool weapons, so hey, that's something.
You can print yourself back.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait 3 days.
That's great. Actually.
We are waiting for yet another match of Star Heroes. While we are waiting, I can bring the topic to the discussion, the topic of airdrop. You can go to this page called, if I remember correctly, airdrop.starheroes.community. Thank you very much, broadcaster. And we do have airdrop campaign. Please go to this site and find out more about it, because I mean, everybody can win. You just need to pay attention to the rules. You need to fill in these little boxes. I do recommend playing some Star Heroes. I do recommend following the X of the Star Heroes project, and you will be up to date with this and possible many other airdrops and occasions to just get something for free. For example, like access to the game. If you were just paying attention and you applied to be a pilot, you could be playing this game and be way ahead from those players that will be coming to this title within the next couple of months when we finally go live. So don't waste your chance on waiting. Just sign up right now.
That's really great game, to be honest. We have played some matches. We have seen some matches.
I mean, we've seen like 10 times more matches than played, so...
Yeah, especially you. I mean, you have seen a lot of...
Yeah, like hundreds of them, so...
Yeah.
But this game was different back in the day. I mean, we still had some starships and weapons and, but
shooting stuff.
Yeah, but we didn't have Stardust. as a starter, and we didn't have the star push game mode. We were only playing team deathmatch. So basically, the team with more eliminations within the 10-minute mark were going to win. Also, then later in the game, we added rounds. So there was like 2-minute rounds, and you needed to win 8 of them to be able to win a match. More like, in CSGO, but without planting the bomb. But still.
Mm-hmm. In like every shooter.
No!
Oh no.
Oh no, we were so close into getting to another match, but something went wrong. I mean, in the beta stages of the game, not everything is working properly. I do believe that's the first problem with joining the game we had throughout the entire qualification tournament sessions.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we should play after this cast.
Don't you have to go back to...
Yeah, after I get back to my house, we can play.
I mean, the servers are only live in the
Tomorrow?
evening hours tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
What do you mean,
didn't you
maybe?
say that you are not so great at shooters?
That's why I should improve. I should train.
I mean, we can play in the opposing side, so then I will teach you a thing or two.
Maybe 1v1.
And we do have a lot of really, really dedicated pilots that are going to help you grow and develop your gaming skills, obviously. Maybe they will kill you like 500 of times in the process of doing so, but that's still the process of learning the hard way.
Yeah, and I believe it's the best way to learn.
I mean, the best way, obviously, is to be playing with the best pilots possible, because you are learning way, way quicker when learning from the better players than you. So, I mean, everybody is better than you right now,
What do
probably.
you mean?
I mean that you're not so experienced, Igor, and,
Yeah.
speaking mainly because of the experience.
To be honest, I'm such an up.
Let me just quickly take a sip of my coffee.
I will get sip of my water.
From the Games with Cup, by the way. Can I have a zoom on that? On the Games with Cup? Yeah, I can. We got a nice pack, by the way, of the Games with Goodies while we were, and we still are, cooperating with them. That's really, really great of you guys. Right now, I do have like 5 cups that I can drink my coffee off, and I am drinking a lot of coffee, which means I don't have to wash them every time. I can just endlessly stack them in the sink
Yeah, I can
and
see
wait
that.
for someone to come and clean it.
It's not. It's not doing by itself.
I mean, no, we do not have this washing machine, dishwasher, and washing machine also.
No way, man.
In the basement, you will not see some that kind of stuff. You will see some lights and TVs and cameras and, many other items needed to do the broadcast. But let's just not go into this off topic. Let's talk a little bit about the winners of the first qualification tournament. Hopefully you saw this one. It was pretty epic. Sons of Anomaly, winners of the first qualifications tournament in team of Bartes, Juliet, and Renifer.
Yeah, which were Sons of Anarchy, but plus Star Push Mode Anomaly Orb. It makes sense.
Yeah, they decided to mix it a little bit. I mean, playing as the name Sons of Anarchy would mean that they are like this rock band. I do believe they are doing rock music or metal music. I am not sure.
I'm not familiar with it, so
It's fine. Experience only 2 months, but still better than many other teams, which means experience is not everything. The skills in your right hand, or maybe left if you're using your left hand to control the mouse, really doesn't matter, as long as you are aiming correctly.
And they like to play with each other, which makes them power of friendship.
The power of friendship almost always wins.
Not almost.
I mean, almost, because sometimes it's just pure skill.
All right.
Let's see, let's take a look at the skill of these players playing once again on the Looney Station for the third time.
Galactic Gladiators on the red side, on the right side, obviously.
Playing against Polska Guram.
Ah, yeah, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Yeah, we have seen this team, but only in the bracket, I believe, in the last tournament.
I'm not sure, maybe like once, but I wouldn't bet on that.
I think only in the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, we have talked a little bit about them, about Mariusz Pudzianowski especially, and Adam Małysz.
Yeah, but there is no. What was the name? Adam Małysz?
Like Lotnicy Małysz.
Ah, yeah, Lotnicy Małysza. So Flyers.
Flyers of Adam Małysz. Actually, ski jumpers
Yeah.
of Adam Małysz. Yeah. But let's focus on this. Let's focus on Galactic Gladiators once again, playing against Polska Guram and the red team, the Gladiators team, with an upper hand already right now with a couple of more eliminations, but not for so long.
Just a one and instantly revenge by bot 6 player. The great nickname bot 5 and bot 6.
Yeah. They stated in the trivia of their team that they went with those names to actually troll some players in the leaderboard, you know, be funny and then just laugh afterwards like, hi, you've been killed by a bot countless of times, man. I mean, I do appreciate the humor, but it's going to be really hard to recognize them as a player. I mean, you're being named a bot, like...
That's so stupid.
That's weird. Let's put it there.
Yeah, maybe, probably that's the better word. And with a small advantage already, 1000 star dust for the Gladiators.
The name of the third player is actually Tirilolo.
Tirilolo?
It's really hard to pronounce that.
Tirilolo.
Tirilolo, yes.
That's
so
great.
Tirilolo playing alongside with two bots, but they are doing really nice job. I mean, not so good as the Gladiators, the team that we currently saw winning with a really nice style, already leading in terms of the economy, in-game economy, more Stardust on their accounts.
Which is really important now, for sure, when the first augment is spawning.
I do love this view from the third-person perspective, as we can see right now. Aurora, it just makes this game look so good.
I mean, there's always a third-person perspective.
Yeah, but it's like the third person.
Okay,
the further away third person.
All right, I get the point. Yeah, it's really lovely looking, to be honest. But there are some problems.
Those missiles chasing the bot 5, they went really far. I mean, nice movement from those missiles. Usually they are just going to hit the first wall that you point at, but this time the auto aim did a really nice job.
Yeah, really great by Gladiators, and the whole Gladiators team advantage even bigger and bigger, making them sure to get the first bonus, get the first augment by pushing the anomaly through enemies' lines.
By the way, Gladiators is really popping off in the start of this game. It's not Revande, it's not Aurora this time, it's Gladiators with 8 eliminations.
And already with a fully upgraded Proton for almost the whole team, only Oro is missing the third upgrade.
Yeah, they needed like only 4 minutes. That's a really good time to get fully upgraded main weapon. Especially when the enemy team has like 1 or 0 upgrades on the shield.
Yeah, that's really looking good for the Gladiators already. Over 3k Stardust advantage, which makes them starting a snowball.
Yep, definitely starting a snowball effect on those guys. Let's see how the Polska Guram members can hold themselves in those fights. Bot number 5 trying to go for a fight. I'm not sure if he's aware of these two enemies waiting here. He was able to snipe one. He's going for the second, and he succeeds in doing so. Really nice job from the pair of bots.
Pair of bots and Lolo as the third player of Polish team, Polska Guram, which are kinda trolls with those nicknames, like for real.
Troll nicknames, really funny name of the team, but really nice gameplay. I would like to state that out loudly, because they are trying to hold themselves against probably one of the best teams in this qualification tournaments, the Galactic Gladiators.
Definitely one of the best, as we can see now with Polska Guru with the advantage of pushing the anomaly to the enemy side.
Yeah, the first bonus is once again plus 30% of shield regeneration speed. A really nice scaling one towards the later stages of the game, but nobody is doing so much hard work into pushing the actual anomaly. Everybody is just trying to fight.
Yeah, trying to fight, trying to get as much credit as they can by killing the enemies. It's around 200 for each kill.
I mean, 3 players in this game are going with the lasers already, which might lead us into this idea of actually pushing the anomaly. As we can see right now, Polska Guram got the first one, right?
Right, that's correct. And with the regeneration of the shield bonus, which makes them really more flexible in the late game, gaining some time for regenerate the shield and getting back to the fight.
Yeah, plus 100 max health is the next bonus. I do believe that Galactic Gladiators are going to fight for it. Okay, 2 eliminations already and some free time to push.
Especially when there is a little handicap, when you lose the first augment, it's easier to push and harder for the enemy team, which is already bonus.
Yeah, but it's really hard to go for like the first one and then realize, okay, we have the handicap, so then just leave the second. No, you are still going to fight, you are still going to defend, even though it's really hard, because while are we looking at the Stardust, at the in-game economy, the gap, the difference between those two teams actually grow to a really big number. It's like 5, maybe even 6,000 difference right now.
Yeah, it's really huge and growing every freaking second at all.
Galactic Gladiators.
Gladiators, yeah. It was close.
It was close. You saved it.
Yeah, say it. really smooth.
Polska Guram team wasn't able to save themselves from this situation of the anomaly being pushed. Right now they are starting with a nice amount of damage at the beginning, but Ghosters is already flying off the tunnel, trying to be in a better position in terms of one of the enemy ships flying so close, but he got some damage from the side, already without the shield, already pretty vulnerable.
Going around and still focusing on the anomaly, but the opponents are trying to get him, trying to eliminate him with huge problems, but now both of the bots are eliminated.
Yep, bots are dead, even though bot number 5 brought back his life back to the game. The second bot is still dead, alongside with Lolo. That's a problem in terms of pushing. As we can see, Gladiators might just run away with the second booster,
which make them a 1000 max health bonus.
Yeah, because, oh my god, it's the second one in a row. I mean, that's a huge number, actually, because almost everybody on the side of the red team with fully upgraded shield, they are going to be so tanky, even though they are playing shooters.
Definitely, definitely. Not as tank, but
Not as tanky as a tank, yes, but close in terms of numbers.
definitely, yeah. But the last one, Augment Anomaly, definitely, I do not believe that any of those teams will be able to get the third or the second bonus for themselves.
Yeah, too little time to do so, 15 seconds before this anomaly despawns, and we are going to see the star seed, the last ball that you need to bounce to actually win the whole match.
And obviously, the most important one, which you depend to get if you want to win the match. The advantage in the Stardust, in the bonuses, doesn't really matter at the end. If the star seed is pushed to your goal, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, but it helps you maintain a fight, for example, like 1000 health. That's not a number you're going to ignore.
Yeah, definitely.
It can tank like the almost full missiles hit.
Yeah, another maybe 2 shots from Proton.
Yep, something like that. I mean, Proton has like enormous damage output, but yeah, still.
Yeah, it's harder to kill you. Yeah, that's the point, and it makes you much better in the game.
Gladiators are leading still in terms of boosters, in terms of eliminations, and also the in-game currency, which is Stardust. They are in a better position right now. Still 4 minutes to go until the overtime. I am not seeing the scenario that this game will go off before the overtime, but maybe Gladiators are going to surprise us all.
They are trying for sure. Eliminating the enemies. Bot 5 is dead right now. They are trying to push it as fast as possible, but only 50%, so it's not moving so fast at all. Now, even on the 100% charge, it's really slow.
Okay, Auror is back into the game. He had some slow start at the beginning of this map, but really nice score right now. 14 eliminations and only died 6 times. That's probably the best KDA from his team. Let's see at his perspective. Let's see how he's doing it. I mean, a lot of movement, a lot of really nice and smooth movement, trying to flank the enemy, not trying to go face to face, but actually, you know, go from the side, from the behind, trying to hit and run, trying to place it as safe as possible for his position. Right now, being on the target, lost over the half of his shield, but slowly he's going to regenerate to full right now.
Maybe not with the most kills already he got, but definitely the best KDA in his team. Auror with great performance, with great form of the day in both of those matches. Gladiators are really presenting good.
And usually we are pointing out these aiming and shooting skills that in our opinion is the most important in the end. It really doesn't matter how strong your equipment is, how many credits you do have, because if in late game you are going to play flawlessly with your aiming skills, you're going to get the upper hand. But I want to point out one thing, which is the movement. Because if you are able to just dodge in between those proton cannon shots, to play around the walls, to block those missiles, it is a really big factor in terms of winning those isolated 1 against 1.
Yeah. Auror is a really clever, really tricky player. He's not taking the 1v1 in front of each other like cowboys in the old times, but he's more like going from the side with the flank or going from behind, trying to get that elimination and be in a better situation for the kill.
I mean, you cannot every time be the one trying to go for a flank, or can you when your team is making an actual space for you to do so? Somebody has to be the bait, somebody has to take some damage, somebody has to be playing in the middle in terms of the other playing be able to go for a flank, to go from the side, to buy him some time to regenerate the shield, etc. etc.
And someone should also try to stop the anomaly, the star seed in Polska Guram team.
Yeah, because they wasn't able to bounce it back even once, only to reduce the pushing power, but it's still really high, over 60% for most of the times.
And as we can see now, they are pushing it back just for a few seconds, probably because there are Gladiators eliminating them one by one.
Yeah, that was the first bounce, but only for a couple of seconds, and it really didn't matter in the end. 10 seconds until we go to overtime, per usual.
And as we can see, it's over 10,000
Stardust advantage. Yep,
Yeah.
that's correct.
That's correct, and that's great for the Gladiators. They are pushing the anomaly even farther to the enemy's goal, and it's a big trouble. It's a big mistake by the Polska Guram.
I mean, I do not see a scenario when Gladiators are going to let this game slip out of their hands. Just look at Auror, 5k Stardust on his account, Ghosters over 4,000. I mean, they can just make some stupid plays and mistakes here and there, but they will still be able to buy back quickly, fly back to the center of the action, and with such a nice control over the start seed, I just don't see a possibility.
And the Ghosters is the player who really likes the third weapon. He buys it every game, as far as we can see. When he got enough advantage, enough star dust to buy it, actually, and it makes him really efficient.
Alright, let's see how those guys are going to make the last push. Probably, I don't see any problems. The only dead players we are seeing right now is those players from the left side, from the blue team, from the Polska Guram team, and it's not going so well for them.
Galactic Gladiators with the hunt of the enemies on their side. They have no chance to get close to the anomaly, but right now they gain some charge for themselves, but not for so long.
Yeah, the bot number 6 is trying to do the bounce, he's trying to put as much effort as possible, but he's not fighting back in terms of, you know, actual enemies flying around. He's too tunnel visioned on this right now. He switches to Ghosters, but it might be too late to fight this off.
Bot 6 now is dead, and bot 5 also reviving themselves as fast as they can, but they are not really able to put it back, to push the anomaly back, trying the last guard of the bot 6, but it doesn't matter at all.
I mean, once again, a snowball effect from the early game right till the end. A lot of Stardust collected, you know, not being used at the end, but still a really great performance from the side of Galactic Gladiators team. Auror with an KDA over 8. That's a rare image that we can see. I was talking about his score. He had like 15-6, and he didn't die since I last mentioned him.
Whoa, that's really great.
I didn't do a caster's curse on him.
Over 7 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
And also the damage output in the terms of the red team, the Gladiators team, pretty even. As we are looking at the other team, Polska Guram, bot number 6 was probably the best player. Looking at eliminations, looking at the damage dealt.
Definitely, by far, his damage was really great, and as we can see, Tirilolo,
Tirilolo, yes.
Tirilolo, with a huge damage, but not so many eliminations as bot 5.
Yeah, and only a shield upgraded to level 3 without the secondary weapon. He just wasn't feeling it this game.
Definitely. Another great performance by Galactic Gladiators, and we will probably see them in the finals, but not yet.
Yeah, they are advancing to the semi-finals right now, only one step away from being into the finals. Being the finalist of the qualifications tournament grants you a spot in the finals of qualifications, and it's only like one step more towards earning a prize in this qualification tournament. Let's take a last quick look at the bracket before we jump out to quick pause, to a quick break. We do have Team Hydra and Galactic Gladiators in the semifinals. The winner of this match will advance directly to the finals, but when we are losing at the losers bracket, there is still a lot to be played.
Yeah, a lot of games to be probably also updated, I believe, at least, because beta team is still waiting, alpha team is still waiting, as the When Pilots B, which lost against Team Hydra. It's a surprise for me, to be honest.
Yeah, we said goodbye to many teams in this tournament. It's going so fast. We are like an hour and a half in, and we are, in my opinion, only looking at this bracket like in a halfway, maybe even past the halfway in terms of matches being played. But I do believe it's a nice time to just check by our own how those players are doing, how those teams are playing. Let's take a look at our Discord if you want to find out more details about this tournament and many other tournaments that are going to happen. Visit our social media and patiently wait for us to come back from a break. It shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes. Welcome back, guys. After this really short break, we needed to go and check ourselves if everything is going all right, and we do have some slight problems here and there, but our team of administrators are fixing it constantly and really quickly. We are going to go with the match for the lower bracket for now and see how those teams are doing.
Ally and enemy.
We are still waiting for those
Yeah.
tags, so
Yeah, but as we can see, we can see the crypto fan. So it's probably the alpha team.
yep, against the
believe.
Exborg Atlantics. That's correct.
So I think the names are in our brain already. That's great.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them, definitely. And it's the match in losers bracket, as we can see in the lower bracket. So none of this team can win. They cannot do it again, obviously, if they want to qualify to the further parts of the tournament.
Probably you meant lose, not win, but it's still okay.
Yeah.
By the way, the winner of this match is going to play against Polska Guram team, so that's one thing to mention, but for now, let's just focus on what's going on. Once again, Alpha team, represented by Cryptos Fan, Weather and Grozen against Exborg Atlantics, represented by Exborg Lexi, Eskezia and M2RK.
Okay,
yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, a
that's great.
tough nickname, M2RK.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really hard to pronounce.
Unusual, but still cool. I find it a cool name, and I find it a really nice and interesting match. I mean, not the early game. I'm not a big fan of the early game unless much is happening, and as you can see, a couple of eliminations here and there. Everybody going for the first buy of Proton. Not Eskezia, he's going with the laser, and he's going with a different starship, as I can see. Looking at those icons, let's have a look at Eskezia maybe.
That would be great. Which
Is the tank.
playstyle by him, presented by him, is really interesting. Playing with the laser as the first weapon, buying and still having the minigun.
So he went with the laser and the tank. 100% he's going to be the one guy in the middle, fighting for the power of the anomaly, fighting for the push.
Not many teams decides to do so, but as we can see, Eskezia is a lover of some kind of off-meta picks.
Yeah, and he's making a nice use of these abilities of a tank, but not so much of a use of his slower movement. It's really tough to get out of the fight.
Now even selling the minigun and buying 2 upgrades for the laser.
So he's going to be mainly focused on pushing the anomaly, while Lexi and M2RK are going to fight off the defenders.
And it makes sense, Exborg with the advantage of pushing the first anomaly, which can provide you 30% of shield regeneration speed.
Yeah, that's a really nice bonus once again. While you're playing a tank, you're not able to fly as fast as the shooter, so you need another source of survivability. Sorry.
Yeah, you need to get out of close situations, hide for a few seconds, and it's much easier to get back to the fight. And as we can see, it's really fast first augment for the Exborg Atlantic.
Yeah, Weather wasn't able to defend it, even though he was putting much effort and much damage into it. But hey, let's start with another one. Once again, plus 30% of shield regeneration speed. Exborg Atlantic team would love to get the second bonus.
Definitely, but Alpha team now provides the first push for themselves, trying to get the anomaly, the augment, the bonus for themselves for sure. They don't want to let enemies stack another bonus.
Yeah, but Ascasia with the third upgrade on his laser weapon, he will be the key player to work around the sphere, to work around the anomaly, but he died 6 times already and he's not putting that much damage as he wishes for.
But as we can see, he came back and trying to push it back and making it really, really good. But now, back again, he's dead, and the Alpha team providing themselves some charge up for the anomaly, but Xbox with the prior.
Not for so long, it bounces back for the Alpha team. They are trying to cover it, they are trying to put a lot of effort. They have upgraded proton cannons already and they are trying to go for it, as I saw on the right top screen of our corner. Crypto's fan were able to score a double kill.
Especially when the Xbox decided for the second laser already in their equipment, M2 RK with 10 kills already, and the laser not fully upgraded proton cannon.
Probably he's the most flexible player on the side of Xborg team in this match. He's killing, he's pushing, he's trying to stay alive, and he's pretty much doing everything by his own. Lexi is trying to support him, scoring 10 eliminations also. Fighting with mainly the proton cannon, the only weapon he's using for now.
The Stardust is really even, no advantages at any team so far, as we can see, but buying a lot of time for the Xbox. If they can guard so much time, the anomaly, the augment, only 3 more minutes left for getting it.
I mean, I would love to see how good will the tank spaceship perform in the late game, mostly because of the movement. I mean, the shield is great, the extra health is also cool, but it all comes down to proper aiming and movement, as we stated before, and tanks lacks movement.
Yeah, it's much easier to land your proton shots for the tank, and as we can see, Ascasia feels it a lot of times, 11 deaths already.
Yeah, bigger hitbox, no boosters, so it's really tough, and he's going to be the one big guy in the middle. But when everybody is playing with fully upgraded proton cannons, I mean, yeah, the extra health is good, but not good enough to keep you alive.
Especially when you are easier target to hit, as we can see. But he's not the mainly dying player in his team. As we can see, M2 RK had most of the kills, but now Lexi is providing most of it, but also most of the deaths in his team.
Yeah, he's the one crazy guy that's going for all fights possible. He's trying to push it to the limits, he's trying to be everywhere, trying to fight against everyone, and it kinda sorta working because Ascasia is having some free time, putting a lot of damage onto the anomaly. The Xborg Atlantic team were able to push it outside of the middle for a couple of seconds, but still.
Alpha team is pushing it back to the middle with the 100% of charge up, and as we can see, Alpha couldn't get the first augment, and it's not a lot of times left to get the bonus and make it even more even matchup for the late game.
And we saw Ascasia is having some troubles trying to maneuver out of the fight, trying to escape, hide and regain some shield. He's moving his mouse left and right, he's trying to use a booster, but you don't have a booster playing as a tank, and it makes you really slow and pretty much unable to escape the fight.
And as we can see, Alpha team with the push, maybe the final push for this augment, 50 seconds left, and they should be able to get the bonus, and make it more clear that it's really even matchup.
Yep, it is even matchup. I mean, the Alpha team has some advantage when it comes to gathering the Stardust. They have fully upgraded protons, they have pretty much everybody level 4 of the shield, so that's an advantage. While playing against the tank, it's really important to be as tanky as he is, in if it's possible, in this situation of the game. Eskezia with also the 4th upgrade of the shield, matching the tankiness of his opponents.
Definitely, but that's really interesting that he did not decide to buy any other weapon than laser.
I mean, yeah, for now, mostly focusing of being a real tank. The 5th upgrade of the shield is on, so now it's the time to maybe reconsider your build and going for a 2nd weapon. Now it's the time, because the star seed is live.
Eskezia definitely pushing the anomaly. It's his main goal in his team. Definitely, as we can see, only with the laser, not killing enemies at all, and already dead.
But so many problems with the movement, as we saw a couple of seconds ago. He's struggling to find a safe way, he's struggling to find the escape, he's struggling to put a good fight, a 1 against 1 with only 3 eliminations. He's not the guy that you are looking for if you're looking for an action. That's the guy, definitely, that's your guy if you're looking for a nice push power, but that's not everything in Star Heroes.
That's not the best tactic, as we can see. Probably, or maybe Xbox is still able to win for sure. The match is not decided yet. Alpha team is still fighting as the Xbox.
I mean, with 2 really nice wingmans, Eskezia might do some really nice work, and this tactic might work. But why I'm saying might? Because fighting 2 against 3 in terms of, you know, these proton cannon fights, it's going to be really tough one. Eskezia with problems with his movement might not be able to stay alive for so long. 16th death on his behalf.
That's really a lot, but not as much as M2RK.
Yep, because as I stated before, M2RK is the crazy guy going for every fight, not only in the middle.
Yeah, when we have Aura on the one side of spectrum, M2RK is on the opposite.
But still, with 15 elimination, I mean, he's doing a lot of work, but probably Xborg Lexi is the team captain, the guy leading, the guy putting the most amount of work.
Eskezia with the Gauss? Am I right?
Yeah, looks like the Gauss count to me.
That's
an interesting choice when you are playing a tank with fully upgraded laser. Why are you going for a Gauss cannon, mate?
That's a crazy choice, to be honest.
Maybe we'll see in action right now. Okay, the Gauss cannon shot misses. This time landed 1500 damage.
A lot of damage for sure. He's trying his best to push the anomaly to get it out of the choke point, but there are still 2 minutes left in the main time, so the anomaly is not moving so fast. It's not moving at all.
Yeah, basically not moving at all. Still in the middle right now with 100% push power on the behalf of Xborg Atlantic. Maybe it will go past the middle, maybe it will go to the side of the enemy team, but it's so slow that we cannot even tell.
Eskezia with the play, with the laser kill, as we could see, and now with elimination for his friend. Xborg team, Xborg Atlantic team is pushing the anomaly right through the main choke point, pushing it to the enemy side.
I don't know if that's a good sign for, especially for Eskezia, because he will be exposed to so many angles, and he's not that fast, so he couldn't run away from all of them.
I think it's actually great. As we can see in Stardust counter, they are starting to go for the advantage.
Yeah, they managed to, but only for a slight time. It's really even in terms of the economic approach for the game. Everybody with almost full upgrades on their weapons. Everybody with full shields, that's for sure.
Yeah, as we can see, full shields for every player, almost 2 weapons upgraded for everyone. So we start stacking up the Stardust for the reviving overtime.
And overtime will come within the 30 seconds, so not a lot of time to actually go back to your base to actually buy some last upgrades, because the buyback mechanic, the possibility to respawn immediately, is the most important in the overtime.
And it's really, really expensive. It's something like 20 Stardust for each second. And in the late game, in the overtime, the revive timers are around 30-40 seconds, so it's really, really expensive and long timer.
So definitely a couple of hundreds per each buyback. That's a lot. Let's take a look at Crypto's Fan. He just spent like 600 Stardust to be able to buy himself back. Right now he needs to work a little bit on his economics, because he won't be able to buy back immediately after another death.
Which is 3 eliminations. That's really, really expensive. Xbox team with a push of the anomaly right through the choke point, but Alpha team do not want to let them get to the another tunnel.
Yeah, fight is still going on around the middle, which is probably the best place to be for the tank, for Eskezia. He's putting a lot of work into pushing the anomaly right now. Once again, near the 100% of the power. The fully upgraded laser is doing the work. It's out damaging the other sources.
And great spot for him, as we can see Eskezia covered with the walls from almost every side, and he can focus on his main task, charging up the anomaly.
And it's working really, really good. I was curious about the tank's performance in the late game, but it's working. I mean, if you know how to use it, if you have your wingmans to play with, it's not so hard. I mean, he's so tanky, but not tanky enough to survive this all.
And managed to upgrade the Gauss cannon, not saving the solar Stardust. Yeah, close one. The Stardust for the reviving himself, and I don't think it's good decision actually.
Fully upgraded lasers on the side of Xborg Atlantic team. Only Vezir is lacking the last upgrade for the Alpha team, so it's really, really close. Almost everybody is fully upgraded. Both teams with one booster from the previous anomalies. This fight might be going to a really, really crazy end.
Definitely, Xbox is pushing the anomaly right through, but Alpha team is still trying to put it back to the middle, trying to charge up the anomaly as much as possible before eliminating the enemies. Right now, they gain control.
Yeah, Alpha team is trying to bounce, trying to slow it down, trying to regain control, and it's working for them right now. Multiplicator goes over 25x, and it's growing exponentially fast. Let's see how Eskezia can do so in the open space, trying to focus mostly the sphere, mostly at the anomaly. He was able to bounce it back at 100% of the power, but he's not immortal, he's not chunky enough to maintain the pressure.
Instantly burst, and Eskezia was down for a few seconds just to revive himself right back. As we can see, a lot of not credit. Stardust obviously saved for the late game, for the overtime, when the multiplier is really, really high.
As we can see, almost every player is focusing the anomaly, ignoring the other players for quite some time. Only when the opposing starship is close enough, then they are firing at full force. They are using missiles in the fights, using even lasers, ignoring the anomaly for only slight seconds, then going right back to the pushing, because the multiplicator is at so high a level. It's on over 90 right now. Can we see another 100x game? Of course we can.
Yeah, and we see it right now. Xborg with the push, with probably the final push, trying to focus the anomaly. Almost everyone is going through.
Everybody ignoring the other team. Everybody is trying to push as hard as possible, as hard as you can do with your laser, with your proton, fully upgraded everything. The star seed is going so fast. I cannot even focus on what's going on behind the scenes, who's killing who. Everybody is going just for the laser. laser. Everybody's going just for the big black orb.
It's going so freaking fast that you cannot for a second distract by the enemy, and you can mainly focus the anomaly right through. Alpha team is trying to defend. Expert was really close, and they are gaining control back.
Over 300 right now. This anomaly is going so fast. I don't know if they're going to be able to bounce it. No!
And Alpha team lost their match.
I mean, in the end, the strategy with going as a tank, fully upgrading the laser really paid off.
Eskezia with crazy tactic, but it's not crazy when it works.
It's the first game where the team with fewer eliminations are winning. The first time we are experiencing it.
That's really crazy.
Feather even sold his proton cannon to be able to get enough Stardust to be able to buy back himself over and over again, and it didn't pay off in the end.
Eskezia only 91,000 damage.
But I do believe it's the damage dealt to the players.
Yeah, definitely.
It shouldn't be counting the damage dealt to the anomaly, because in terms of this, he should be leading by far.
For sure. Especially in the late game, he was so focused. It was his only goal to push the anomaly, to charge it up, to make it go through the goal line.
The longest game by far we had on the broadcast in all 3 qualification tournaments combined. I mean, the multiplicator went like 400-ish, something like that.
Almost, something like that. And it was really exciting when the anomaly was going so fast.
I mean, you possibly can go over 1,000, and how fast could it be? Like 3 seconds from one goal line to another? I don't know. We didn't test the limits yet.
Maybe we should.
Maybe the players could provide us with such an amazing info. How long did one of the games last, and how high can the multiplicator numbers go?
Maybe. We have to ask.
We can play 1 against 1 and try it out, to be honest. But
okay.
But yeah, that was hell of a game.
Yeah, it was. It was really great and really important, especially for the Alpha team. They have no chance to qualify for the tournament.
Yep, and that's a shame. That's pretty much always a shame when a really nice team got disqualified. But hey, we are looking for the best out of best, and Alpha team is really good, but not good enough to be in the top 6 teams.
Same brain, same mind.
I'm worried about having the same brain with you.
We are sharing it, for sure.
We are connected.
Definitely.
All right, that was a game indeed, and here comes the bracket to see how other games are going.
And how is it going?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
That would be great. As we can see, Team Hydra against Team Galactic Gladiators, the semi-finals. We are still waiting for those guys. It's a most important match for sure for now.
Yeah,
because one of those teams will already make sure that they will be in the great tournament.
Yep, and we are going to go with this match whenever the players are ready. If I am correct, we only saw matches on Looney Station by far in today's tournament. No other map. That's interesting, because in the first tournament we've been playing mostly like Nox Colony with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions. The second tournament was like 50-50, this time in favor of Looney Stations indeed.
And we have seen Arena...
Digen's Arena like once.
Maybe 2 times.
I do believe it was once. But hey, it really doesn't matter. What does matter is that we are going with the semi-final once again on Looney Station.
Team Hydra with squad of Ghosters, Auror and Revenate. Revande, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Might be.
And on the other hand, Oxymoron, Sigma and Rule.
For the
Gladiators.
Galactic, yeah,
yep.
I misspelled the Galactic.
It's better to misspell the Galactic than Gladiators. I
Yeah,
mean, we
for
have
sure.
Guardians in the lower bracket. In the upper bracket, fighting for the final, it's Gladiators.
I think Guardians are not bracket anymore.
Uh,
I think they are disqualified yet.
Maybe, but let's not focus on this one. Let's focus on the early game with the first blood already and the kill in return.
Even the 2 kills already. Yeah, that's right. One for the Oxymoron and Sigma, and one for the Ghosters.
Yeah, everybody's just trying to make some money to be able to buy the Proton Cannon. It's 1,150 Stardust. Also, you can sell the minigun along the way to be able to afford the first upgrade, which cost 650.
And most of the players decides to do so, or if not the upgrade for the Proton, the shield upgrade.
Or the laser to just be able to switch in between those two weapons.
If
The
you-
3 most common ways.
Yeah, if you really want to focus on the first anomaly augment, it's really great tactic.
Yeah, but 8% of times we are going for the Proton Cannon, with some exceptions going for the lasers, but maybe not in this game.
Not for now, as we can see, Aurora and Ghosters already with the Proton upgraded.
Yep, everybody is trying to go for the Proton, as we can see right now on our screens. Everybody is going for a lot of eliminations, to be honest, in the early game. I do believe that maybe it's because of the map, maybe because it's smaller one than the Nox colony. On Nox, we've seen much more peaceful early games.
Definitely. But it's as you said, it's definitely smaller, so you have to fight for each container with the Stardust.
Yeah, everybody is fighting over everything, the containers, the position, and the anomaly. Augment anomaly indeed, that's going to spawn within only a couple of seconds.
And which bonus you predict to be?
We didn't see this 50% of boosters capacity
Yeah.
in a long time, so maybe this time. Let's start with this one. What it's going to be? No. No. I mean,
It's great.
it's like we are only seeing plus 500 max health and plus 30% shield regeneration.
Yeah, but we haven't seen a game with a lot of augment spam.
Not today, and
Not today.
I mean, mostly in the first tournament, we saw some games with like 5 or 6. We even made a bet and we won it. It was like 6
Yeah.
augments, yep.
In second also, but in the third one it's really close matches that we can see a lot of anomalies.
Everybody is just purely focused right now because it's the last chance to qualify to the finals, to be able to play for some prizes, but what's the most important, to be able to play on stage on the Crypto Community Conference that's taking place on the 17th of February.
But even if they lose, they will still be waiting in the losers bracket.
Not waiting necessarily, just getting ready to play
Ah.
yet another match of Star Heroes.
Yeah, definitely waiting for one of the losers bracket players.
Preparing and getting ready. Then nobody is waiting
Why
here.
not waiting?
Nobody is slacking. Everybody is fighting for the anomaly, and looks like the Hydra team is going to get the first upgrade, the first bonus, the first plus 500 max health points.
You've been waiting for it.
Shush, please.
But Team Hydra was fighting.
Yeah.
Were fighting.
They
Definitely.
wasn't waiting, they were fighting. Yeah. Yes, my friend.
And we have to fight for another augment that is already spawned.
Once again,
with
shield
the
regeneration.
classic.
Ah, where's the booster capacity? Was it removed like a couple of hours ago? What's going on?
I don't really know. Have you seen the patch notes?
What patch? Have you seen the dev team?
No,
Not in
today.
this tournament, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, they were busy doing some patches here and there, fixing some stuff, and oops, accidentally removing one of the boosters.
No, new design.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Classic.
Yeah, let's laugh it out, but let's focus on the Gladiators team going really hard for the second booster, focusing on this one. Yeah, you can have the plus 500 health. We are much more happy with the second one, the shield regeneration speed.
Definitely, which is really great in the late game when the enemies cannot kill you, are not able to kill you. You are able to hide for a few seconds and get back to work to push the star seed or killing the enemies like that.
Okay, Rule, he was trying to push one of the opponents against the wall. He escaped, but only for a brief second. Right now, Rule, you know, going out of combat, trying to regenerate some shield, buying some upgrades for, yeah, more shield.
Yeah, there is no way for the capacity. Like, no chance.
Yeah, it's been removed. I'm telling you that,
sure,
100%. I mean, the RNG is like so bad on this one.
Like, for real. The whole
Unbelievable.
tournament without the capacity of the booster. But now, focus on the third augment already with the 30% of shield regeneration speed. Classic. Now, Team Hydra with the advantage.
Yeah, and it's a really nice advantage. They put a lot of work on this spawn, so they were able to push it out of this choke point, out of this corridor, really narrow one.
But another tunnel is also a problem, which they have met with, and enemy team pushing it back to the middle.
Alright, what's Ozor going to do? He's fighting alone in here, but oh my god, really nice usage of those missiles and his movement. He didn't lose a lot of shield in the process of the killing, and also goes with the other one, a double kill for him in a really short period of time.
That's great. It's a really tough fight for the another augment anomaly, as we can see.
Nice movement, by the way. Yeah, he was able to regain all of his shield. I mean, it looked funny, but it worked.
Yeah, it worked for sure. You can hide for a few seconds to regenerate your shield. It's not that funny when you lose some of your health.
Yep, but it really doesn't matter as long as you are staying alive. But he did it.
He did not, or with the death. Ghosters going back to the game. All of the blue team members were eliminated for a few seconds.
Yeah, team wipe, so a nice chill time for the red team, the enemy team, because the name disappeared.
For some reason.
Quite interesting. Alright, let's see how Sigma does this time. Elimination on his behalf. Still almost full health and full shields, going on a little hunt against Aurora.
And all of the players already with the fully upgraded Proton, as we can see. Red team focusing on the shields, the blue team with the lasers already.
Yep, I mean, you gotta use those lasers if you want to win, really. That's the main win condition.
And they are using to put the anomaly back to the middle. They are trying to push it back, but it's not that easy when the team red is not giving you the chance.
Yeah, it's going to bounce, I do believe. Yeah, it's stopped for quite some time right now. Ghosters is trying to put a lot of effort into it, but he's like shooting alone. He's like not able to push it through. Okay, he did. Okay, it's going.
It's going through the second augment, the second bonus for the red team. And as we can see, it's 60% of the shield regeneration speed.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's really high amount of regeneration. Everybody's going for the fourth and fifth upgrade. It's going to pay off. We won't see yet another plus 30%. They have no time to do.
No, definitely there is no time. They should focus on gaining some credits from the eliminations, from the containers with the Stardust.
Yep, only a couple of seconds until this one despawns. Everybody will probably go to the shop to buy lasers, because lasers are the most important in this phase of the match.
Obviously, we can start the late game. The star seed is spawning just in a few seconds, so you have to push it right through the enemy's lines, the enemy's defense, and as we can see, blue team is starting to do so.
Yep, they are trying, putting as much effort as possible and avoiding enemies right at the beginning.
And they are much more focused on maybe taking some containers, gaining some Stardust, or getting some eliminations for the Stardust, especially when you want to get another and the last one shield bonus.
Everybody is fighting right now equally on the side of the red team. Oxymoron, Sigma and Rule with pretty much the same number of eliminations. While are we looking at the other team, Aurora once again popping off.
Yeah, the red team is much more with the same skill value, the same skill amount for each player, but the Aurora with the great performance today in every match. He's so consistent.
I mean, yeah, he is. He has some ups and downs, but not so much in terms of this tournament. He's really having the day of the bull.
And that type of tournaments is really, really important to be a consistent player. And as we can see, Aurora is really, really great and a tough opponent.
The leader of Galactic Gladiators, indeed. The star player of his team, putting really great amount of work to make it happen, to qualify to the finals of qualifications, to be able to fulfill the dream to play on stage.
Yeah, definitely. And you want to get those slots already by winning the semi-finals, by getting to the finals.
Team Hydra with better bonuses, Team Hydra with really slightly better economy, but still will they find their way to win this semi-final? Will they be able to go to the finals? I don't know. I mean, it's so even, it's still in the middle and nobody was able to push it out of this narrow corridor.
We have to wait just a few more minutes to make it sure who will be in the finals, who will be looking for another opponent. But now there is no multiplayer. The star seed is moving so slow, as we can see. But Aurora moving so fast that he got an elimination.
Yeah, Aurora is playing out of his mind, to be honest. Almost 30 eliminations already, but when we look at Ghosters with only 3, the team captain, Ghosters, the team captain of Galactic Gladiators, he got some different stuff to do right now. He's scouting, he's trying to look for any potential flanks, you know, going from place to place, making use of the laser and maintaining the pressure, the push force at 100%.
And maybe just help the Aurora who was fighting right now, so it's really important stuff. As we can see, it's the first time that the anomaly left the first corridor.
Yeah, but only the first one. I mean, you need to push it all the way through to make it easier for you to control it out of the middle of the map. We often see a situation when most of those players are using Proton Cannon from a really long distance to maintain the push.
Aurora with another play, trying to eliminate one of the enemy's players, enemy's members, and he will do so.
All right. I mean, Aurora, he's... it's such a pleasure, it's such an opportunity to look at this player, the really great one, and learn from his movement and learn from his decisions. As we can see, he's constantly picking up fights, he's constantly putting pressure at the enemy team, being full built right now with a lot of Stardust saved.
A lot of, we've fully upgraded both of the weapons and the shield. Also, as we can see, he can revive himself back right through and still got a lot of Stardust.
Alright, Gladiators got the slight upper hand on the beginning of the Starseed push, but we are going to an overtime and Team Hydra is trying to go for an equalizer. They are trying to put the sphere once again back in the middle.
And they are doing really well, but Blue Team doesn't want to let them.
Yeah, Gladiators are fighting till the last drop of blood, as they used to in the ancient Rome.
As they used to, yeah. They were kind of forced to.
Yeah. Maybe right now they are not forced to, but still they are doing it regardless of the times. Is it the ancient times or the future in the space? It does make no difference to them.
Yeah, that's for sure. Galactic Gladiators with the great performance right now. Team Hydra with such problems.
They are still able to bounce it back, to stop it, to make it go to the middle once again. Everybody is putting so much effort into pushing, and yet nobody is making significant progress.
And it's really hard since till the multiplier is not so high. We are still waiting for the big multiplier, for the opportunity to move it a little faster when the killing enemies, making them not being able to shoot the anomaly is making much more sense.
Everybody right now is fighting in this narrow corridor. Everybody is just shooting at each other. Really doesn't matter who has the lowest health bar, who has no ammunition, whose gun is overhit. It's just brutal for fight, a brutal push. Everybody putting as much effort as possible, just blindly trying to aim, trying to do as much damage as possible.
And pushing enemies right out from the middle, as we can see, and chasing, maybe getting the elimination. Another one for the Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora is trying to chase down enemies, to hunt them down. He's not letting them make use of this plus 60% faster shield regeneration. It's do or die at this time. It's really coming up to those split-second decision, to those last pieces of ammunition, hitting or missing.
Hitting or missing. Team Hydra with coming back to the middle, trying at least, but they have such problems. Galactic Gladiators with a great game, another one by one, trying to get right to the finals.
Oh my god, man, it's so close. It's really close. It's like the small final. It's safe. It's the semi-final, guys. Everybody is fighting for their lives. The winner of this match will have a nice break to reconsider, to cool down, to think about tactics, to look at the enemies on the broadcast, and the loser will have to fight even harder.
Especially when the multiplier is already over 30, so we can see the anomalies moving really fast.
Yeah, Galactic Gladiators got the upper hand, but Team Hydra is defending it really nicely, not letting the Starseed get 100% push power.
But still, Team Hydra with the problems. Now with the eliminations, Aurora and another team member of Galactic Gladiators, but instantly reviving themselves.
Alright, the multiplicator went over 60, it's going over 70 right now. It's going to be a really hot, really close, really tough ending of this map.
And Galactic Gladiators doesn't want to give the chance for the enemies to maybe come back with the multiplier, going through, pushing right to the goal line, and now with the 100%,
they are going to do it!
It looks so easy.
In the end, yeah, mostly because of the multiplicator, but as we saw on our screen, it was like 4, 5, 6 laser aiming only at the sphere, nobody fighting against each other. It was do or die for one or the second team. 63 against 61 once again. Wow, what a close match!
A lot of eliminations, even though the Team Hydra got 2 augments, 2 buffs for the late game, they didn't manage to win.
Aurora with 37 eliminations himself, almost 250,000 damage dealt. Wow, that's a number.
That's really a lot. And another game when we see the Aurora as the MVP for real. He's crazy performing right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that he single-handedly moved his team to the finals, but he's most certainly the real star player, the real one that everybody should be afraid of.
The star hero.
The real star hero, indeed.
Yeah.
The Guardian, Degen, or Interstellar, we do not yet know, but he will be simply one of the best of his nation.
Definitely. And we know that
What
Galactic.
we know do.
Galactic Gladiators are in the
Finals. They are already qualified to the finals of qualifications, and they are already in the finals of this qualification tournament. Only one match ahead of them, the final itself, which means we are going to observe what's going in the lower bracket. Let's take a quick look at that and figure out which match is going to be the next one.
and which we can see Exborg Atlantic.
Defeated Polska Guram.
Yeah, which is actually great for them, not for Polska Guram.
Mariusz Pudzianowski has fallen,
Has
and
fallen.
he can't get up.
It wouldn't give any. Don't listen to me.
Try to go with the meme, but it's really hard to translate a meme.
Yeah, kinda. When Pilot B against Beta team are still fighting, as we can see, so they can get to the Exborg Atlantic team and maybe beat them up.
Yeah, maybe. I am counting on When Pilot B, to be honest. I mean, it would be really sad for such a good team to take part in all three qualifications tournament and every time be so close to succeed. But it is an esports game. I mean, you have to be best, or actually second best at least, to be able to get qualified.
Definitely. And it's not that easy when there are a lot of much experienced teams, much experienced players in the leaderboard.
Yeah, the leaderboard is filled with so many great players. I mean, we most of the times we are looking at the top 10 or top 50 or maybe even top 100 players, and like 60% of them are taking part in this tournament. So many great talents, which are going to be able to get an airdrop via playing the leaderboard, and you were able to get the airdrop if you just look at the lower third. It's not there anymore, but yeah.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Airdrop.starheroes.community. Please go to this site and check this out, because you might find yourself lucky this time.
are you lucky?
Am I lucky?
Yeah, do you think you are lucky, like in your life?
No, I wouldn't say so. If I were lucky, I would be, having a wife and a house and a kid.
Maybe.
No luck there. No luck in love. So maybe luck in cards.
Yeah, as we say in Poland. For sure.
Maybe let's go for a little break, if I do understand our producer correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Of course. So let's go for a short break and come back with yet another set of matches of Star Heroes. but it's fine. It's fine because we will have 3 matches left. 2 matches in the lower bracket that will decide the last finalist of the 3rd qualification tournament that will face the possible best team out there.
So some teams will be on fire, playing and playing with no break. Some people will have to think about the tactics, think about some other stuff.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the bracket to name those teams properly. To make a shout out for them, it's going to be When Pilots B, Xborg Atlantics, Team Hydra, and in the finals, waiting for them, Galactic Gladiators.
What do you mean waiting? You hated me so much when I said waiting, and now you use it.
I'm hating on you every possible opportunity, so...
Yeah, that's toxic relation.
Love and hate.
Love and hate relation. Yeah, that's correct, actually. Probably the players right now.
Just I want to point out, Xborg Atlantic team lost in the first round. They got dropped to the losers round 1. They were winning against Dojo, against Sifir, against Alpha Team, against Polska Guram. Can they make this miracle run through the losers bracket?
And didn't they lose against the Galactic Gladiators?
Wasn't paying attention to that. I'm paying attention to the sounds in my headset, which means the game is about to start. Nox Colony, welcome back.
Welcome back. I think it's your favorite map.
Yep, it is indeed.
Definitely.
And it is really tough, really hardcore beginning of this match of When the Pilots be playing against Xborg Atlantics.
And builds the boss with the elimination, with the assist actually for the cooler. When Pilots B with the elimination, not only one as we can see, a lot of Stardust already in the advantage.
That's a really tough opponent for Xborg Atlantics team. I mean, playing against When Pilots, the winners of some previous tournaments, finalists of many tournaments, players being placed on really high positions on the leaderboard.
And Teskezie with the fight, with the 1v1 right now, but without the elimination.
It's really hard to get an elimination using only a minigun. I mean, yeah, you can always use some missiles, you can always use the help of your friend, but being in an isolated position 1 against 1, it's really long time to kill without the use of a proton cannon.
And we still have a lot of time for the first augment, for the first anomaly, so we are gaining some credits buying the first proton, as we can see for the cooler, who's got already 2 eliminations.
I think there is a place to reconsider the economics of this game because you're getting only a slight advantage in the beginning, and the snowball effect depends on the performance of the enemy team. For example, I want to use an example of a Devs team. They were behind in terms of eliminations many times, but they were able to keep themselves in the game, collecting Stardust like a crazy amount.
It's really good to focus on the Padder's inventory. As we can see, he decided to upgrade the minigun.
Yeah, that's one way of playing that looks like nobody is using, to be honest.
Yeah, nobody, especially in the Xbox.
But he's getting like 80% of the price of the money put into it, so it's not that bad, but I mean, different approach to the game, definitely. Is it going to pay off? I don't know. With a cooler in your team, 5-1-2 already, yeah, it might.
With 2 upgrades for the Proton, 6 kills, and he's not stopping even for a second. Great performance, but by When Pilots be on the start in the first 3 minutes already with 2,000 advantage.
And I would love to lock the camera on Cooler for the next couple of seconds, looking how he's going to perform when the first anomaly is being spawned. He's not putting any effort into pushing it. He's trying to go for some eliminations, coming from behind, trying to go on Eskezie, and succeeds in doing so right now, trying to find a peaceful place place, but he didn't have any time to do so. A third upgrade of Proton already on his account.
But his team focusing on the anomaly and only 30 seconds to get the first bonus for the When Pilots B.
That's so quick, to be honest. The fastest upgrade we've seen throughout this tournament.
And it's 500 health, I believe.
Yeah. It's the best possible augment in the early game, and it happened definitely in the early game when pretty much nobody is buying the upgrades of their shield.
Not yet, as we can see. Father with a different style, still focusing on upgrading the minigun.
I mean, maybe he does know some tactics that we are not familiar with. Let's take a look at him. Maybe it's the best solution to push the anomaly early. I mean, the damage output, it's not so bad. And maybe he's lacking some eliminations. No, he has already 4 on his account. I mean, doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's great score, actually. And as we can see, he's doing really great. But Xborg is doing great with the second anomaly.
And that's the shield regeneration one. I mean, letting it slip through your fingers. When Pilots B, where were you guys?
It's a really high pace game, actually. 2 anomalies already.
Yeah, definitely high tempo. Maybe this time we will see more than 2 or 3 boosters for those teams. Maybe we'll see some high-paced action. It happens only in Nox Colony.
As we can see, they are starting to push another When Pilots B already with the advantage, a lot of Stardust advantage, and the second bonus going to their account.
Yeah, Lexi and M2RK doing really nice work, refragging time after time, trying to put a lot of effort into getting rid of the defenders, while Eskezia, I mean, he's having troubles at keeping the pace.
Not the eliminations, but definitely more focused on the anomaly, as every game Eskezia is.
M2RK trying to fight right now, so low in terms of health, over 200 for him. He's so low, he's like 1-2 shots away. That's what I was talking about. You needed to smack him down.
Feels the boss already with the laser as the pudder, and we can see it makes sense.
I mean, interesting approach from the When Pilots B team members. Belzebos and Pudder still keeping the minigun fully upgraded this time. We didn't see it pretty much like ever.
Yeah, and I think it's really about pushing the anomaly for the start. It makes a lot of sense. And selling the weapon is not so much punished. It's only 20% of your start dust not given back.
That might be the correct meta read for the early game, when players are not so tanky, when the minigun is still putting a lot of work, when you are lacking Stardust to buy fully upgraded lasers or cannons, and as we can see, it's doing the work.
It's doing the work for sure. Advantage in the Stardust, advantage in bonuses already, and we still have 3 more minutes to get some augments.
Oh my god, that's so high-paced game. I don't know what to focus on right now. Maybe let's focus on the cooler for some time. 17 eliminations already.
50% booster capacity and regeneration.
Finally! Maybe it happens only on the Nox Colony.
Maybe it happens only in... after 3 augments? Like,
I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea.
But we finally have a confirmation that it's not being erased from the game.
It's not, definitely. Xbox still fighting, probably trying to take the second bonus for themselves. Do not want to get a disadvantage in the late game.
By the way, on this map we also have a different terrains, much more corridors. Through the anomaly is actually going, so it makes those fights a little bit more interesting, in my opinion, than the Lunit Station.
It's much more about the aim, not about the missiles. It's much harder to land your missiles in the low terrain. like in the corridors.
Like the narrow spaces that this
Yeah.
this map has. Alright, Cooler, fully upgraded Proton with also fully upgraded shield. He's the one going for the killing. Looking at Xbox, Atlantics, those guys are going with the usual approach, fully upgraded Protons, but without that much money put into the shields, but with the second team booster already.
And still 90 seconds left for another augment. Maybe some of those teams will get the bonus advantage for the last phase of the game.
Cooler with 1/3 of his health but full shield, trying to start with pushing the anomaly. I am 100% sure that he will go for kills instead of the pushing, as we can see right now. The first one already on, looking for the second, trying to lock the enemy down, getting rid of his shield slowly, sending some missiles, trying to snipe down, but not coming too close.
M2RK is getting some damage, and still his friends of Cooler focusing the anomaly,
Boom.
but Xbox trying to push it back.
Oh my god, when Pilot B, I mean Cooler especially, is putting a lot of effort into fighting, not caring that much about the actual anomaly.
21 eliminations already, and it's still over 5 minutes left of the main time.
Alright, they are going to go with the third boost for their team. The second booster capacity, I do believe.
But first for them, for one Pilot B.
I mean, pretty even matchup. Even the Xborg Atlantic team has a slight upper hand in terms of getting the Stardust, but it's so low difference that I'm not going to actually count it as something, as an important factor of this game.
No, it doesn't make any difference. Actually, that's so small difference that it won't get you any upgrade or something like that.
By the way, talking about upgrades, Belzebos and Padder are sticking to the minigun, even though we are in the phase of Star Seed push.
That's crazy, but that made sense. As we can see, they have one bonus more than enemies.
I am wondering if they are ever going to sell it, if they are going to replace it for the Proton.
Maybe. I don't know. If the Cooler is such a great player with so many eliminations, maybe you don't have to.
But he can't do everything single-handedly, as we can see right now, when Pilot's B team got aced.
Oh yeah, actually yeah, and fully charged up by the Xbox, Starseed is moving forward the enemy's goal line.
I mean, in this state of the game, you can afford to skip on by backing yourself. You can wait a little bit longer because it's not much of a distance that the Starseed is actually traveling.
Yeah, for sure. It's not really worth it to buy yourself back, such an expensive thing, but not so important in the main time.
Yep. Right now you're trying to focus on getting the full build. As Cooler did, fully upgraded both weapons and the shield, he's more than ready to go for a countless numbers of fights.
But as we can see, the minigun is not so good in the late game. I think when Pilot B with little trouble.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the moment for them to reconsider the choosing of those weapons, but they are sticking to it, both Belzebos and Padder. Interesting choices.
It's a really good damage output to the anomaly, but I don't see it really working about the eliminating enemies. Only Cooler is taking care of enemy team.
Yeah, Belzebos is missing like almost every shot of the minigun. It's not working so well for this guy.
And as we can see, the Star City is moving forward still to the When Pilot's B side, and it's really deep.
Yeah, they are in some really high problems right now. I mean, as we can see, the minigun is doing the work, but not so much as the laser. But when it comes to fighting, Proton Cannon is like way stronger than the minigun.
Oh, yeah, so much better than the minigun. Now, when Pilots B, maybe it's some kind of tactic to let opponents get anomaly to your side and being able to buy back and get back to the fight much faster.
But the boss is struggling so much in getting rid of this one single enemy. He's still, you know, being in the middle. He's still putting a lot of work, a lot of effort into pushing the star seed, but he's not in the best shape today.
Belzeboss eliminated as his friend Cooler right now. Belzeboss is not reviving himself back for some reason.
Oh, he did just right now, but it's still not fully equipped spaceship without fully upgraded shields. I mean, it's going to be really tough for when Pilots B. Looks like the Xborg Atlantic got a really nice upper hand.
Yeah, for sure, especially when it's so close to enemy's goal line. The multiplier is coming right through, only 1 minute left of the main time.
Is it possible that we will see a match without an overtime this time?
Maybe, probably, when Pilot B in a really tough situation.
Yes, Kezia just died, but he had enough credits to buy himself back. He did so just right now. M2RK is fighting probably alone over here. I don't see Xborg Lexi around, but he's covering him from the side.
Belzeboss without enough credit, so he has to wait a lot of seconds, just enough to export get even more advantage in the Stardust and in the pushing the anomaly.
One thing is not changing. Everybody with fully upgraded laser, focusing as much as possible on the star seed. It's really close to the goal line of when Pilots B team. It's a dangerous position to be in.
But now taking the control of the anomaly, but just for a few seconds, Cooler eliminated, but buying himself just the back. Padder, not enough credits to do so.
3, 2, 1, we are going to an overtime with a really nice advantageous position for Xborg Atlantic's team.
Xborg Atlantic's team want to close it up. No chance for the enemies to probably come back. As we can see, full control of the anomaly fighting. Probably the last fight of the game.
Yeah, Cooler has 30 eliminations, but it's not enough to get rid of everybody at one time. I don't see a reason why Belzeboss and Padder are sticking with a minigun. It's not working in the late game. We can clearly see it.
Maybe they should just sell it for now to have enough Stardust to buy themselves back, but no, they did not. And when Pilots B, even though they got 3 bonuses, one more than the enemies, they lost.
Yeah, congratulations to Xborg's Atlantic team. I mean, that was a hell of a fight, playing against a really strong team that took part in all 3 qualification tournaments and didn't succeed in any single one. Cooler did the most damage out there on the side of when Pilots B team were Padder and Belzeboss. As we are looking at the numbers, they were lacking it.
30 eliminations, but not the biggest damage so far, which is really surprising for me.
Yeah, definitely surprising is the word. I mean, not much to add. This strategy didn't pay off. Xborg Atlantics went with the meta one, the simplest one to pull, the one we see the most frequently, and it's just working. It was just better for them. It allowed them to win the match on the 4th round of the lower bracket.
Yeah, in the early game, in the mid game, it worked really fine for the when Pilots B, but in the late game they were stomped.
I mean, in the late game, I think like they didn't stood a single chance in any single isolated 1-against-1 position. It was surprising to see, to be honest. I was waiting for the decision to sell the minigun and go with the proton cannon. I don't know the reason. I'm not going to blame it all onto the strategic approach. Actually, I'm going to highlight that Xborg Atlantics, they are continuing the run through the lower bracket.
Yes,
they are not stopping.
Yeah, they are not. Especially when selling the weapon makes you lose only 20% of Stardust.
Okay, let's see at the bracket probably for the last time of today. Let's go with the match of Team Hydra against Xborg Atlantics.
Yeah.
I mean, if Exborg Atlantics are going to win this one, they are going to get a rematch for the first round of today.
Yeah. So it would be a really interesting story of the tournament. The team that lost in the first round against the finalist coming back to their revenge.
Sent back to the loser's bracket on the first round only to gain more and more power. As those creatures from the space called science. They are getting stronger with each fight. Are Exborg Atlantic players a science?
I don't really know.
Son Goku? Vegeta? Gohan?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You are crazy.
I just made it up.
They will definitely find enemies.
I mean,
try to kill them.
if they are science, making use of more matches they have played today, they are way stronger than they've been on the first round. Because science are always getting stronger after a fight, which they didn't die. Because if you died, then you need Dragon Balls to be revived. So
okay. Interesting story, actually. I didn't watch that.
The Dragon Ball
No.
franchise, okay, you can still, go over it. But right now we will go over a graphic presenting the team of Exborg Atlantics, M2RK, Eskezie, and Lex. Lex 1, Lexi, we've been naming him Lexi because the name in game is Lex 1.
All right, that's interesting. And the most meta favorite weapons, as we can see, Proton, Laser, and obviously the Gauss.
I would go with the Gauss Cannon if I were you guys, but hey, I'm not in the final of the lower bracket, so.
What is different that the favorite map of those people is Digen Arena?
And I assume everybody is just banning Digen Arena. That's the main reason we've seen so many Luni Station games.
Definitely. Name after Swissborg organization.
Yep, because Swissborg, I mean Exborg, Swissborg, yeah, that's the name of the whole big project, and Exborg Atlantic is just the made-up name for this team. That makes a lot of sense. These guys played together for 3 years. Star Heroes just a couple of weeks, but if they have 3 years experience playing all together, as we can see, probably games like CSGO or Quake series, I mean, that's a team bonding right here.
Okay, they have played a couple of Web3 games.
AVIO, The Harvest, Digen Arena. I am not familiar with the name of this game. I thought it's only the name of the map, but okay. Bornless, The Finals, and many others. I mean, a lot of Web3 experience, maybe the most out of any other teams.
And as we can see, they stayed with the Star Heroes, so probably it's one of the best.
Yeah, they started early, they started in the beta, and they are going probably to continue even when the game is live. Looks like they might be able to attend in the finals of qualifications, so why not?
They still got a chance against Team Hydra in squad of Sigma, Oxymoron, and Rula.
And they like all of the maps, so no wonders why the Digen's Arena is being banned in the first place.
Obviously, the Proton, the most meta one for the favorite weapon. And we have seen this this team already, so it's just amazing players with a team bound on the highest level.
And if they consider themselves top 4 as a team in the leaderboard, which means they just have to win this match, they just have to go to the top 6 of all eliminations.
Definitely.
Otherwise, the numbers just turn it up.
Do numbers lie?
I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. I mean, I've heard that sometimes 2 + 2 is 5. So
Okay. It sounds like
do you know why, by the way?
Orwell or
2
something.
+ 2 is 5?
What?
Haven't you heard of this
No, I did not.
approach to mathematics where 2 + 2 is 5?
No, I haven't seen any weird YouTube video because it sounds like that.
I mean, we were taught that plus 2 equals 4, but for some other people, it doesn't.
Okay.
You have to look it up. I'm not going to explain it to you because I can't explain this theory. It's just awful.
Yeah, it sounds like Orwell.
Okay, it sounds like a really stupid approach to mathematics, but
Yeah.
we're only a mere humans. we do not understand, the bigger picture of the space, of planets, of mathematics. It
Yeah,
seems.
because mathematics is only the construct.
Is mathematics solved like fueling? Or there are still some miseries? I don't know, but what I do know is that we are going to have a clash on Nox Colony.
Another one, Team Hydra against Xborg Atlantics.
Yep, Sigma starting with a death. That's a shame, but Roll were able to get a refract, so it's 1-1.
And another elimination for the Xborg Lexi.
Yeah, Lex. It's Lex. It's Lex 1. Let's call him Lex. I know
Why?
it's going to be hard to switch from Lexi to Lex, as it was hard to switch from credits to Stardust.
Yeah, it is. Still, it is, for sure.
Alright, the early game not going so peacefully in the beginning. Everybody is just going for the enemy. Everybody is going for eliminations. I mean, the eliminations, they are tastier, tastes better than just grabbing those containers.
Yeah. Another eliminations for both of those teams. They are fighting through, and M2RK is down.
Yeah, for the third time in a row. I mean, not the best beginning of this map. When you are dead, you are not able to gather more Stardust. You are just waiting. It's pretty much pointless to buy back yourself that early in the game. It's just a waste of Stardust.
Yeah, a lot of Stardust. It costs really a lot of It's really expensive, 20 Stardust per second.
Okay, is everybody going to go with the Proton Cannon? Oxymoron starting this strategy on this map. Let's wait for the other players. I do believe it's the most efficient one.
Probably, yeah, but as we have seen, Eskezia is sometimes trying something different.
I mean, going with a laser is also good, but this time he's using the shooter, so maybe, just maybe, yeah, he will go for the Proton Cannon as we see right now on our screens.
Yeah, and all of the players are already able or already has one Proton Cannon with the upgrade. Only the Sigma is still...
but not for so long.
Not for so long. Walking around, not taking the Proton, but not now, yeah, with it.
That's really important to go through the preparation phase of the first 3 minutes to acquire the Proton Cannon or any other weapon of your choice and be prepared for the first anomaly to spawn that's going to happen within the 25 seconds.
Eskezia was ready for the first elimination, but he got eliminated, actually. So it wasn't so good preparation. As we can see, we have to prep for the first anomaly with the augment.
10 eliminations for Team Hydra within the first 3 minutes of the game. That's a really high count when it comes to this preparation or early game stage. We are starting with plus 50% booster capacity and regeneration. It doesn't need to be the third or the fourth anomaly, it seems.
Yeah, for some reason our core is down right now. As we can see, yeah, Team Hydra with a big gap in eliminations, but when we look at the Stardust, it doesn't seem so obvious that they are winning.
Yeah, pretty even economy at the start of the game. It's all about the brute force right now. It's all about who's going to get more eliminations at the beginning of this fight.
Maybe just pushing the anomaly as Eskezia do with the laser already in his inventory.
Lexi going for his enemies, shooting some missiles, trying to finish it off. Looks like he will succeed.
Lex with the elimination, but now being on the second side, eliminated.
Ruler, wake up, do not spend that much time in the shop.
Maybe he wait for the... No. He got too much credits.
I don't know, but
he
he's not be able to defend this. It goes over the goal line.
and Xbox with the really fast first bonus.
I mean, it's really good on this map, to be honest with you. The plus 50% of the booster, of the speed up, of the nitro for your spaceship. The movement here looks as important as every other map, but in my opinion, and I do have a confirmation that this map is actually bigger because it's such a big open space.
Oh, that's interesting. It makes a lot of difference for your ship, which one to choose for the equipment. But as we can see, the Proton is just too OP.
Yeah, everybody who's using the Proton Cannon is going to be in the finals, regardless of the score of this map.
Definitely, for sure. Now Team Hydra with the answer, getting the augment for themselves.
So one team is going to be faster and the other team is going to be tankier.
After hiding for some time, regeneration of the shield, you need to don't take any damage for a few seconds.
Yep, it's like 3 or 4 seconds out of combat. Looks like I do not have a specific number for this one. I came in unprepared on this topic.
That's not so important. 1 second.
I do, but
no.
it might be important on the highest level, you know?
Probably on the highest level, yeah, for sure. Which we can watch right now, actually. Team Hydra against Xbox Atlantic.
This third anomaly is somewhere in the middle. Everybody is fighting for it. Everybody is putting some effort on it, but not so many lasers being used on that.
Yes, we can see Xbox with the big start, but Team Hydra pushing it back to the middle. Xbox another time with the manipulation of the anomaly, pushing it through the tunnel.
They really want this plus 500 health ongoing. Everybody wants that, but only one team can acquire it at a time.
Plus 500 health is really important, but not in such a middle of the game. It's not so good as in the early.
I mean, that's still a difference maker at some scenarios. As we can see, blue team is trying to bounce it back. Sigma even used his precious missiles to put some more power into that.
Oxymoron now with the missiles to the enemy, and Lex eliminated.
Okay, Oxymoron is just full autoing right now, as we can see, using as much effort as possible to bounce it back.
And now with Lex another time eliminated, all of the Xbox team are down for a few seconds, so Team Hydra can push the anomaly back to the middle.
They are trying to do so with 100 push power right now, unless the enemy team can answer to that. And as we can see, they're slowing it down, trying to bounce it into the other direction. So much fight going on about this third anomaly bonus.
And only 2.5 of the minute for getting the bonus. Both of the teams are really hungry for it.
I understand why. This is the last fight that's going to determine the second finalist of today's tournament.
The second qualified team to the Grand Tournament.
Yep, that's the finals of qualification, the Grand Tournament, the Grand Final. The play on stage will happen in 2 weeks. We'll go back to this topic on the Saturday's broadcast. I'm sorry. Right now, let's focus on this game. Third augmented bonus is going in terms of Team Hydra.
Definitely yes, and the fourth one is Spawned. Another time with 500 max health Spawn. Team Hydra with the huge start.
Our team Xborg going to make it even. Looks like they are trying to bounce it back towards the middle. They are using the momentum that nobody is defending it as hard as they could, but Sigma with an elimination on the only player pushing right now. The anomaly stopped, but only for like a quarter of a second.
Escazier far from the action, as we could see. He focused on the container with some of the Stardust now, trying to help his team to defend from the anomaly going to their goal line.
Yeah, he was trying to acquire some more credits. He was trying to go out of combat to regenerate the shield, but he wasn't able to do so. All right, now let's see how Sigma does it. He's trying to use his fully upgraded cannon successfully, eliminating one enemy, going for the anomaly. For some time going through this narrow corridor.
But only M2RK and now Eskezia. Lex also is back. They are trying to defend. The narrow corridor is going through. Actually, the anomaly is going through it and going right to the goal line. Only 20 seconds, but it's enough for the Team Hydra to get another bonus or not.
Oh my god, they saved it. They saved it from the goal line. If they are able to keep it for the next 10 seconds, they are going to not be losing that much in terms of the boosters. It bounced back with a nice force. It's not going to go over.
Lack of the lasers now. Team Hydra won't get another 500 health bonus.
And that might be the difference maker in the later stages of the game. Star City is going to spawn in 5 seconds. Everybody is buying full upgrades right now. As we can see, Rule with fully upgraded shield and proton cannon will go for more fighting.
And already with the laser, the first laser in Team Hydra.
Right, Lex just used his missiles, but they didn't hit, so he's right now dead. M2RK, he's trying to go for an equalizer. Trying to go behind the enemy spawn. I don't believe that's a good idea.
And it was not. M2RK is down. Have to wait a few seconds, like 20 seconds. That's a lot of time when you don't get any Stardust for your team by getting containers or getting some kills.
But you don't want to spend so many Stardust on constantly buybacking yourself, especially in this stage of the game. You want to save a little bit to be able to buy the 5th upgrade of the shield.
The 5th upgrade of the shield or 3rd upgrade of the laser, as we can see in M2RK equipment.
Okay, everybody's almost full build right now, so it all comes down to the aiming skills and the movement of those players. Sigmas is trying to scare enemies away, take a peaceful defensive position, regenerate his shield, but he's not able to be in such a safe spot for too long.
It's still a lot of minutes, over 3 minutes left until the overtime, so players should focus maybe on the lasers in Team Hydra. They are lacking a lot of DPS to the anomaly.
Oh, Oxymoron hit the wall. Oxymoron lost his movement for a little bit, but it didn't pay him that much. Back with full shield already, trying to go through from the left, from the right, changing angles, changing positions, using the momentum to acquire some more of the Stardust, because they already have 100% push power, but somebody is contesting it.
And fully regenerated, trying to make a kill, trying to take a shot, maybe some Stardust for him and his team. Now fighting again in the corridor, but have to hide for a few seconds just to regenerate his shield.
Yeah, that's a lot of movement from his side. That's a lot of swapping positions back and forth, trying to be unpredictable, trying to use every bit of free and safe space, wow, to regain his shield over and over again.
And as we can see, it's a really tough matchup for both sides. It's a really even situation, as we can see. The Star City is still in the middle, maybe a little bit closer to Team Hydra's side.
A lot of fighting really, until the overtime will pop off, and I am sure that it will at some time. We didn't see a single matchup today of this star push being pushed to the end behind the goal line before the overtime.
Yeah, it's really hard to do so. It has to be a really big stomp to do so.
Eskezia right now in the middle of the fighting lost his shield within like a couple of shots from the enemy spaceship. Now regaining it all, now trying to go for another round isolated fight against Sigma, but he's only shooting a couple of shots from the proton cannon and going away, going for a safe spot for yet another container of Stardust.
Since the anomaly is fully charged by the red team, by the Xborg Atlantic, they do not really care about that. They have to guard it, and they have to get the eliminations, get the advantage in the Stardust.
Interesting thing is that Eskezia has only 1 kill on his account. I mean, he's doing a lot of work, as we can see right now, into pushing the anomaly, into pushing the star seed, but he's not good of a fighter himself. A lot of assists, but he's not able to finish the second enemy.
As we can see in every game, to be honest, Eskezia is... his main goal is to push the anomaly, to charge it up and to guard it. And as we can see, he won't get a lot of eliminations, but still being a really important part of the team.
Xborg Atlantic managed to push the sphere so far forth into the enemy goal line. We are only a couple of seconds away from the overtime, and they already did a really nice job, especially Lex and M2RK with over 30 eliminations combined.
And when we look at the wallets of every player, definitely Xborg got a lot of more Stardust to revive themselves.
Yeah, and fully upgraded everything. Maybe not Eskezia, he's lacking 1 upgrade on the Proton Cannon. It might be the difference maker, but right now what's making the difference is being on time, being on position, putting so much effort into pushing the Starseed.
And now Team Hydra with focusing, taking control of the anomaly, but not for so long. Xborg team is back.
Rula died, he doesn't have that many Stardust to be able to buy back himself immediately, so it's a fight 2 against 3. Right now Rula is joining the fight, but when we saw M2RK being shot down, he just immediately pressed the button responsible for buying himself back, and he's already here.
Yeah, it almost looks like a macro, it was so fast.
Yeah, like a split second. Oh my god, right now a double kill for the Xborg Atlantic team. They are able to put so much pressure onto the Starseed, trying to push it to the limit, to the 100% push force.
Especially when the ruler is down, he got no credits to revive himself.
Oxymoron solo,
now.
dead.
And Oxymoron killed, but instantly reviving himself. Eskezia, not enough Stardust to do so.
Alright, the ball is bouncing back in the other direction. Rula is putting so much effort, he's ignoring the enemies right now only, and now going for M2RK, but quickly then switching back and forth between the enemy spaceship and the sphere.
Xborg another time, 1 less bonus than enemy's team, but focusing the Starseed anomaly from the start for the 5th minute of the game, of the main time left, and doing it really well.
Lex putting so much effort into pushing it. It's really close. It's like a couple of seconds away from going to the finals, and he made it alongside his team. Xborg Atlantics made their run through the lower bracket straight to the finals.
Losing against the finalists, the Galactic Gladiators, and facing them again.
Oh my god, being lower, like 20 eliminations into this game, but still managing to win. What a way to get a rematch.
Eskezia, not so much damage as we can see, but
it doesn't matter.
We could see he is focusing the anomaly, and it really works.
In the end, it doesn't even matter, my friend. I mean, they were ahead like 2k of the credits, not much of a difference, but difference enough to make a win here.
And it's really great, as we can see, Xborg with his with their specific playstyle, making the progress, making the enemy's team losing.
It didn't work in the first round. It didn't work there, but as I were mentioning before, maybe there are some species called science or any different type of galactic warriors that are gaining skills and everything that's needed to win again and again, time after time after time, winning throughout the lower bracket every single map to be able to go back to the finals.
Going back to the finals, qualifying to the grand tournament and fighting for extra prize.
And that's a really interesting topic because right now we do have all of the 6 teams already qualified to the finals of qualification that will be held in the next week on Saturday. Oh, hello. And we do have 6 of the best teams already. Maybe we can talk a little bit about them if the match is not starting within like a couple of seconds. We do have Sons of Anomaly and Monkey from the first qualification tournament. Star Alliance and When Pilots team from the second qualification tournament. And we do have Exborg Atlantics and Galactic Gladiators from the third one.
Correct name. That's right. Yeah, we've got this. All of those 6 teams are going to face each other in the grand tournament.
In the round robin formula, which means everyone will play against everyone, 5 matches. And the best 2 teams will qualify to the event called Crypto Community Conference that will take place on the 17th of February in Warsaw in Polin Exhibition Center. That will be a match between 2 best out of the best teams, only best of 1. It's going to be more of a kind of a show match to showcase Star Heroes to a much wider audience than, for example, today. It's going to be like over 500 people on the place of this conference.
Yeah, I would be so stressed out, to be honest, as the player.
Some of those players, I'm not sure who's going to qualify in the end, but some of those players already have some offline tournament experience.
Oh, that's great.
For example, like Star Alliance.
That's really helping.
Yeah, that might come in handy later on, but firstly, they need to go through the finals of qualification on the next Saturday. Please be here, because it's going to be like... I don't know. I mean, 6 teams, best of the best. You can't get much higher skill level than that.
No, there is no way. Like, best of the best and 2 best teams going through it, winning the single round robin and going to the final.
I mean, we will be missing some really amazing teams. For example, like When Pilots B. For example, like Team Hydra. I mean, they were so close. We will miss like the Dev Team.
Dev Team, yeah, that's what I was.
Dev Team surprised us big time.
Yeah, they were so great. Maybe they lost because they didn't want to attend the...
I mean, in the end, they didn't want to attend in that. They wanted to create a space for actual pilots, but they showed us that they are not pushovers.
The game, the Star Heroes, are not resolved fully already.
It's not. There are still some tactics here and there. For example, like you can be down a couple of eliminations, but still be ahead in terms of acquiring Stardust. For example, you can play with miniguns. Maybe it's not the best solution, but hey, you will still get like the 5th place of 16 teams.
Obviously, the game is still in progress. The balance team is still working, so as soon as the release will go on, it will be fixed.
And pilots are still looking for the best possible tactics. I mean, on the Luni station, we saw some going with the laser first, or maybe even playing as a tank.
Yeah, bigger or smaller maps with more corridors or less.
Laser with Gauss cannon combo also.
For the tank, especially. Yeah, that was crazy.
But we are not seeing anybody losing weapons like the flag cannon or CKM or the shotgun one. Spread cannon, it's called.
I think we have seen CKM once.
I mean,
but it's not...
Maybe, but not in hands of finalists.
Definitely not in hands of the best one.
Because they are using Proton, like Proton, period.
That's the reason.
Maybe laser, but only because it's the second best in slot.
Yeah, second, especially for the pushing the anomaly.
And also, in my opinion, fighting in those close corridors when you can just, make circles with your mouse and eventually hit someone.
Yeah, probably.
that. Guys, we are waiting for our finalists to get prepared. Give them some time to get a cup of water, to refresh themselves. I mean, use the toilet and be fully prepared to what's going to happen on Dijon's Arena.
Dijon's Arena! Who would expect it for the final?
I wouldn't expect. It is the really good map to showcase the finalists. Once again, Galactic Gladiators, represented by Ghosters, Auror, and Rivanda. And on the other side, Exborg Atlantics, represented by Lex Eskezia and M2RK.
And as we can see already with the first blood for the Galactic Gladiators.
They had some rest time indeed. They were able to look at the broadcast, to look at how the enemies are moving, shooting and making their decision, but not on Dijon's Arena.
Yeah, they knew it even before because they played against each other.
By the way, is
Even
it
today.
better to have a break for like an hour, to be honest, or to be in the fire, to be fully warmed up?
It depends.
Okay. So let's see which factor will be the difference maker this time, because on the beginning of this map, Golden Guardians, by the way, Galactic Gladiators are having an upper hand.
Yeah, definitely 1k advantage now, but we are only 90 seconds in the game.
Mostly because of the three eliminations coming up on their side.
And buying the Proton for sure, as we can see. Probably the first Proton right now?
Maybe.
A few seconds?
You need to...
Oh,
okay, we got it.
Yeah, we got it even with the upgrade classic, selling the minigun, and with the advantage for the Galactic Gladiators.
I don't believe that on this map Gauss Cannon will be the choice, even of the third choice is too close, with too many walls.
It will not be for sure. There is no space to use the sniper rifle.
Yeah, no space, no time, and it's really hard to aim when you have so many terrains around you, like those walls, entrances, and those Dijon statues in the middle and everything.
Which you can hide kinda inside of those.
Behind those. I'm not sure if you can go inside. You could, like a year ago, but they had enough time to fix it.
Between those hands.
Between those cheeks.
Yeah, that's right. And as we can see, you asked which tactic is better, to have some time to rest or being on fire still in the game, no time to rest. And as we can see from the start, Galactic Gladiators with a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's like 2000. That's really huge difference in the first 3 minutes of the game. The first augment anomaly is spawning right now is going to be plus 500 max health.
And that's really great, especially when the blue team would get it as fast as possible.
By the way, interesting thing, the anomaly is going in a straight line, as we can see.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, the road is not curved or, you know, no anything, just a straight line. That's an interesting thing. So, which means basically you can place yourself right behind it and just keep
one
on
spot.
shooting.
Yeah, like hold your left mouse button.
Switch between 1 and 2, the weapons, yeah.
Yeah, just go. Just go.
Just go.
Maybe enemy team won't be letting you that?
Maybe, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. And it goes really nice for Galactic Gladiators right now. But the Exborg Atlantic represents are putting on a good fight.
Putting on a good fight, coming back with the Stardust amount and putting the anomaly back to the middle. But again, Galactic Gladiators with the advantage.
Yep, looks like they are going to go with the first one. Maybe possible. They are in a really nice spot right now, going, pushing it through this gate over here. They are in the box.
Especially when the M2RK is eliminated and you have the advantage of one player for now, for a few seconds.
It's going in, 100% power and plus 500 maximum health points right now for the Galactic Gladiators team.
For the last seconds, Xbox even did not care about the anomaly. They put their whole effort into gaining some Stardust from the containers.
And that's understandable. Maybe they will fight for this one because plus 500 it's nice, but plus 1000 even nicer.
Even better, yeah, for sure. And the Galactic Gladiators want to get another bonus, but it won't be so easy, as we know there is a handicap. Also, there are some curves.
What happened with the anomaly right now? I mean,
The path is
the
changing.
path has changed. That's an interesting factor.
Yeah, it's
It's like an orbit right now. You just go around the map, or
to the top. I guess.
mean,
there are some
did the
portal things.
did the finish, the goal line change also? Looks like it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's like
It
the
did.
second time we're seeing it, so
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. One team is pushing to the top, the other team is pushing to the bottom under those statues.
I mean, it's really nice to have something different at those maps. We have 3 really nice, amazing maps, and the second looks like a really specific but really nice thing.
Yeah, maybe that's why most of the players hate it, but some of those love it.
I mean, maybe not specifically hate it, but avoid it.
Yeah, some
That's the better word.
probably. I would say yes, you are right, Mayutek.
But
as
we are
always.
not hating the Legends Arena at all. We are just getting more and more excited for the fight. Ex-Borg Atlantics were able to get the upper hand in terms of collecting the Stardust, but only for a slight second.
Yeah, especially when the Galactic Gladiators started with a high note, with a high advantage, but now Xbox is definitely back.
Yep, they are back. They are pretty even, not for so long. Look at those differences in terms of Stardust. Look how fast the situation is changing.
The anomaly is moving also so fast, as we can see. Galactic Gladiators with the advantage and Xbox with a really big issue.
Only Escasia is alive, and he's not paying attention at all. He knows that this booster is also lost. Another plus 500 max health.
And it will be even harder to get another for the Galactic Gladiators. I don't know if they will be able. There is a small chance, only 2.5 minutes left.
They only need to stop the next one coming. Oh my god, it's another plus 500!
Imagine 1500 advantage in health.
That's like the different. That's like buying the 6th upgrade for your shield.
Whoa.
In terms of the amount, I mean, the shield is regeneration. Your health is not, but
it's not, but still, it's harder to kill you, definitely.
yeah, I mean, that's an amazing scenario to be in. And you know what? Gladiators are fighting for the 3rd booster.
They are trying their best. They're focusing the anomaly and eliminating enemies one by one. As we can see, Lex is already down.
And only Lex, to be honest, is putting on a good fight with 9 eliminations. Escasia and M2RK with only 3 eliminations combined for those 2 players. They are really tired. They are feeling the tournaments in their hands. It's like the 4th hour of playing.
And Galactic Gladiators with the 3rd bonus for the late game, as we can see. It looks so easy for them.
I mean, if the 4th is going to be plus 500, then the game is rigged.
And if they get it,
then it's insta surrender.
they will have a minute only, so it's not so
Oh
long.
my god.
70 seconds.
What's going on?
Maybe there is only plus 500. I don't know.
What's going on Legends Arena, guys?
It's really crazy, but Xbox cannot let opponents get another bonus.
That's the definition of being outscaled, you know.
That's the definition for sure. And as we can see, Galactic Gladiators don't want to stop. They want to get another augment.
They are going so hard for it, even though we have familiar equipments on each sides. It's really problematic when Escasia and M2RK are not getting eliminations.
It looks like they will get another bonus, another 500 of max health. Xbox trying to stop, and now for a few seconds getting it.
Because Gladiators is dead, it's 2 against 3 right now, and it's going to be saved, looks like, from the side of Xborg Atlantics.
Definitely not 2k of max health advantage, only 1.5.
Yeah, 1500, that's still a lot. I mean, that's going to be problematic for Xborg Atlantics. They have upgraded lasers, but not fully upgraded protons.
But as we could see, the Export Atlantic, the main phase of the game is the late game. That's the moment when they are brilliant, when they are the best of the best.
I mean, yeah, you need to be brilliant, you need to come up with a really nice strategic approach to this, but what's more important, you need to start eliminating your enemies. Eskezia and M2RK are still having problems with that.
But still, with the advantage in the Stardust, as we can see, a little advantage, but it's really surprising.
Okay, Lexi, he wasn't able to do so. He wasn't able to get an elimination. He's spending his Stardust on buybacking himself with only the 3rd upgrade on the shield.
I don't know if it's not too early to buy back themselves, to be honest. It's not so important. The anomaly is not so fast.
It looks like they are really tired. They are not making the best decisions. They are not playing as good as they were on the previous rounds.
Definitely, and now they are especially playing against the best of the best in today's tournament.
Yeah, the qualification tournament number 3 is coming to an end. It is the final clash between those two teams. It is the final map of today.
Xborg trying their best, pushing the anomaly, as we can see. Galactic Gladiators leaving it for a few seconds to get some Stardust, to get some containers, to make the upgrades, the most important upgrades of the lasers, done.
Yeah, the difference in equipment is going to play a huge factor, adding to it this plus 1500 max health for Galactic Gladiators.
But when we look at the wallets of Eskezia, of M2RK, they are really poor.
Yeah, Eskezia just recently bought the 5th upgrade for the shield, but he's playing with level 1 Proton.
It doesn't matter for him. He's shooting only the anomaly for sure.
I mean, it does matter for the enemies because it means it's an easy fight for them.
Yeah, probably, yeah, but we will see if Xborg still will be able to make it through.
Eskezia escaping with like 100 health point. Okay, he's regaining his shield. He's probably back into the fight, but the health points are not going to regenerate.
And he's such an easy target.
Yeah, they only need to do like 2 sets of missiles and a couple of shots from the Proton, the fully upgraded Proton cannons that are on the side of Galactic Gladiators.
Xborg in a big trouble. We are sure about that. They have even issues to get out of their base.
Yeah, Eskezia did not die yet. He's still hiding somewhere with this 91 health points of his.
But still a full shield, as we can see he's not so easy to get eliminated. 5k shield, but it so low for now. He tried to make his best, get some points on the anomaly, but he's dead now.
I mean, what's the problem with those guys? Is it really the tiredness, or is it really the map, or is it really that the Galactic Gladiators are out of their league?
Probably, yeah, probably all of those. It's 2-0 for the Galactic Gladiators for now. It looks like it will be.
It's not going to be a story of free science ascending towards the super science state. It's just the 3 really talented pilots, really good at this game, but not good enough today.
Not today, but maybe in the grand tournament they will rest some time and get better. They have so much time to train.
Yes, they are still qualified for the finals of qualification. They still got the spot, so they don't need necessarily to win this one. But by winning, there is a prize, $300.
Galactic Guardians with a huge advantage in Stardust and with pushing the anomaly, as we can see.
Auror, he's having a really nice match once again. 14 eliminations and only 3 times being shot dead. Right now he's having some problems. He's trying to go to the spawn, but he just bounced back.
Yeah, I think it was the enemy spawn, probably.
Maybe he's just, you know, too hyped up about the game, too hyped up about possible winning this whole final.
But it really worked. He's still on his legs, as we can see. He was not destroyed, so he's great. It was a good tactic.
Oh my god. Right now, the advantage of Stardust is just enormous, not in terms of the team advantage, but in terms of, you know, having some savings into their pocket. They are able to buy back after buyback to continue the fight. Looks like Xborg Atlantics are now awakened. Looks like they are putting much better fight in the overtime.
I think Xbox wasted way too much Stardust for the revives at the main time, and now it will see if it was worth it.
It will be problematic indeed. It will be problematic to keep up at this pace without that many savings as the Galactic Gladiators have.
Galactic Gladiators another time trying to take advantage of the anomaly, but now they have to eliminate the players as Kazier reviving himself instantly.
And I do believe you need to travel much more of a distance coming back from the spawn than in the other maps. You have to go through the corridor left or right, and then you finally see this big place, this big room that's named Degens Arena.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest spawn we have than in another map, definitely. And Galactic Gladiators, as we can see, pushing the anomaly right through. Big troubles for the Xborg Atlantic.
×7 multiplayer coming to ×8, pushing at nearly 100% force.
And Xborg Atlantic tasting their own medicine. Galactic Gladiators put much effort in the main time to push it to the other side, to push it to the enemy side, and now they are gaining the advantage even bigger.
Oh my god, it looks so close. It looks so close for the Galactic Gladiators. They are getting rid of the last defenders. They are putting their last bit of bullets, the power of the lasers towards the Star Seed.
Enemies cannot even focus the blue team. They have to focus instantly the anomaly to slow it as much as possible, since the enemy team, the Galactic Gladiators, are just killing Xborg Atlantic.
It stopped for a second. It stopped for a second. They are trying to bounce it back a little bit. They are trying to regain control. Xborg Atlantic's putting as much effort as possible to stay alive in this game.
Going circles, making circles, as Kezia, living as much as he can and just focusing the anomaly and making his job. But for now it worked. Now the Galactic Gladiators are back.
Yeah, the multiplier is so high, it's going to a 50 even. It might be the last possible moment to save the game. It might be the last possible moment. Lexi is trying to catch the Star Seed. He succeeds for a second, but he cannot stop focusing it. Otherwise, it's going to cross the goal line.
And we have seen the best match in this tournament, the finals.
And we have the winner. It's going to be the Gladiators team. Galactic Gladiators won the qualification tournament number 3.
With the great performance, the whole tournament without any lose, as we could see, beating the Xborg Atlantic twice.
Yep, in the first round and in the finals, the same result back to back. Auror once again with the best score, with the best KDA and the highest amount of damage.
And the extra prize is going to the Galactic Gladiators, but both of those teams are getting to the Grand Tournament.
Yeah, oh my god, I am getting so hyped up for the Saturday's finals. With such an amazing players, with such great teams.
Such a great performance for each player. so much effort for each player. Definitely we will see put in all of the skills that they gained, and they will gain because they have a lot of time to train.
Yeah, 6 days until the final. 6 final days to train, to be on your best shape, to prepare everything for the weekend, for the Saturday. I mean, get all of the work. I mean, take care of the kids before the tournament and get ready to rumble.
Get ready and get ready for the finals, which will be a little bit later.
So let's give last shout-outs to all of the 6 teams qualified to finals of qualification. Starting from the first tournament, Team Monkey coming on second and Sons of Anomaly winning the whole tournament. On the second tournament, Star Alliance, undisputed winners, and the second place takers when Pilots. And as we can see on the last bracket, on the bracket of the third qualification tournaments, Galactic Gladiators winning this tournament and X-Borg Atlantic coming in second.
All of those 6 teams we will see. We will be able to cast for you their games in Saturday. In a round-robin formula, everybody will play against everybody. Map of their choosing, weapons of their choosing, starships also. Depends on your approach, or strategic approach, and what do you want to do. And it was a pleasure, Majotek, to cast those 3 qualification tournaments with you.
Yep, and it's not over yet. Everybody get ready, get some free time on the next Saturday, please.
That's correct.
That's correct, and I do believe that's all for today. Thank you very much once again for participating in all those qualification tournaments. Thank you very much for watching the whole broadcast, supporting those players, supporting the project Star Heroes game itself that's going to go live within the next 2 weeks. And by the way, also visit the site starheroestournaments.com and visit the site for our airdrop community. Once again, please, can I have the airdrop.starheroes.community in this specific order?
And obviously, you can follow on the social media and join our Discord.
And follow us if you liked our showcasting, if you like us, if you like the project, please leave a follow here and there, join our Discord and jump into this amazing community and amazing game. The first esports Web3 title that might actually have a chance to go really, really big.
And I think that's all.
Yeah, I do think that's all after my speech. Once again, thank you very much. Today's showcasters were Rafał Majotek-Szczepanek,
Igor Ikarwypian.
and we will see each other on the next Saturday.